I mean, give me 10 more minutes and I'll be at least in front of a computer, but I can yap right now.
We're going to kick it off with yapping. I think
Go away.
it's time.
It's
Welcome, friends, to session number 73. Oh, show me the dog.
You got that
Get rid of that dog!
No! Got that dog out there.
Ash, where are you?
I am in Zero's yard.
Okay. Ew.
Password.
Dog.
She was
the computer.
This dog wanted to play tug with me. The problem is that she really likes to play tug of war with a ball that is smaller than her mouth. So you have to reach into her wet mouth to play tug of war with her, and she always likes it. Yeah.
Like playing with a bear trap.
Yeah.
She wins by
Chomp chomp. Good for her. Last we left off, the World Summit was well underway as you guys navigated the social interactions and tense confrontations you had with certain allies, enemies, and others. You reconnected with Vita, discovering that she was playing a drink server at the tables and had been investigating the deaths of the 3 adventurers at the base of the mountain from Baron Hassan's protection squad. They had all died somehow of different causes in their sleep, including drowning, crushing, and one who had severe internal hemorrhaging. Further investigating the elements of the party itself, you all witnessed Teisu's entrance as she summoned a troll skeleton to kick down the door of the main hall, causing a shocked wave of whispers and an exasperated look from Forsythia, who followed right behind. You also learned of symbols that had been found around the mountain nearby, one of which was carved onto the chest of a victim, who was an eye with a little pointy tail, similar to a primordial runic combination for the summoning dark. Beyond that, you have no idea about the significance. During the banquet, you talked with the 7 sages of the sun. You made some tenuous relationship with the other steppe ambassadors, and you found an interesting contact with John de Goblion, an underground market. Some might call him a smuggler, but he would never brand himself as that, not for this type of clientele, who warned JT of a possible money-making opportunity at this event. Something to do with the mines, connected by a series of tunnels and minecarts on the opposite side of the Blackrock Mountain. He recommended that you all meet him by the minecart apparatus and rail center at 2 a.m. tonight. But it is not quite 2 a.m. yet. The sun has set. You have all returned to your quarters, wherever they might be. And the night from here on is yours. You know that somewhere in this mountainside resort, your enemies are conspiring. You have not dealt with the other suitors for Teisu, you haven't uncovered Akashi's true plans, and you haven't secured a way for yourselves to re-enter some semblance of society. For at the moment, should your identities be exposed, you are all in grave danger. But before that, let's pick up at the top of our quote-unquote long rest tonight. You guys could, in theory, take your long rest, or you can use this time for other purposes. espionage, infiltration, sabotage, planting evidence, finding leads, or perhaps severing them. This summit is your oyster, and so long as you can move undetected, you can get a lot more done in the night than the day. What do you all do?
Fantastic question.
I will say this might involve some differing investigation roles. If anyone has specific interests that their character would like to look into, now would be a good time. Otherwise, I would like to have everyone, just as a bit of an icebreaker to kick off the session, describe what you took from the buffet on your way back to your room. And who you are currently traveling with out of your party.
Valerian's probably.
Valerian, you talked first. Yeah, you're.
Didn't I? I'm the yapper for
Well.
today. Valerian's probably got just like a plate full of skewers of various kinds.
So many
Just like,
skewers.
yum, yum, and just throwing off the sticks kind of into the great wilderness while somewhere. Probably with
There's,
JT, I
like-
would imagine.
Yeah, your bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
JT, as the party winds down and people are heading back to their lodgings, do you try to contact anyone or meet up, or are you just going to play it safe for the moment and touch base later in the night?
I was gonna look over and make sure he hasn't gotten in too much trouble, and yeah, just like subtly, I believe with the message cantrip, and just subtly send a message and be like, "You should go to bed now." That'd probably be the best way to stay out of trouble. And he's still under the effects of suggestion, so I think that'll send him.
Is
I'll
this
see
John
you-
the Goblin? Who is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John the I'll see you at midnight. Don't say anything to anyone.
You see him like do the little zip lock, and he breaks the key in half and then eats it. And he doesn't seem to think about it that hard, and turns around, walks off, snacks a few deviled eggs on his way out and stuffs them in his pockets, and leaves the soiree. Oh yeah, this is John de Goblion. He's just
And he's
there.
got some deviled eggs in his pocket, which are famously wet.
Yeah. He got like a handful. He's really short, but his fingers are proportionally incredibly long. So like on most people, it's like big part of their arm is forearm, big part of their arm is like the upper bit. His fingers are almost as long as his forearm. He is just a real spindly motherfucker.
And okay. Now he's got man in his pockets. Okay.
He leaves, and you all continue on with the night. If anyone else has anything, now would be the time. Otherwise, we can pick up at midnight if you guys would like.
Oh, that makes sense.
JT, you've got to try one of these skewers. They're made of jackalope. They're delicious.
Oh, fuck yeah. I hate those little fuckers.
It's actually really crazy because they had to somehow like keep restarting the jackalope incarnation cycle while also getting fresh supply.
Tastes like victory.
It's a little gaming.
For sure.
You all. One sec. You all reconvene later in the night. Who is going with JT in the night to investigate whatever this is?
You are for sure. Not
You guys are going to be going
Wait.
around.
Can I be heard?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I was
now.
muted. I kept trying to be like, "Hey, can I do something?" And Dylan was like, "Anyway." I was like,
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you want to do?
I do want to cast a spell. I'd like to do some sleuthing, and I would love to sleuth and see where those broken bottle shards I left. in the adventurer's hands. I want to see where those ended up.
You cast Locate Object, and you see that those broken shards are currently in one of the lodgings further up the mountain. One of the ones in the top row, actually. Upper left corner, which, if you were paying attention during the unloading and unpacking part, is Vandergilt and the Hassanian delegation.
Gotcha.
Now,
Is that
where
off limits for us, like to get like near or like that like wing of the building?
you are allowed to roam this mountain wherever you please. You are guests, you have your invitations, and no one can stop you from moving around between the lodgings. However, most of people's individual lodgings, most of the regional factions and groups here have sort of made a bunker out of their hotel room, essentially. It seems like not all doors are open here, but you could always try and knock and just give it a shot.
No, I don't think I will. I will see in our hotel room. If I go down like a floor, is the room layout the exact same?
Yes. So the apartment complexes, the lodges, are essentially 3-story buildings built onto the slope of this mountain that kind of carve into it, and they all have a view, like a large glass window overlooking the mountain you see on the map right now, and on the other side is just kind of stairs and doors that lead to the network of lodges around it. So you have like a story to yourselves, but there are people above or below.
Well,
The delegation for the Hassanians is bigger, so you think they probably have a whole building to themselves.
Yeah, but is their building multiple stories?
Yes,
Like
all of them are 3 stories. Yes.
Cool. Then I'll go to their building before I cast, detect magic, and I'll go into like one of the bottom floors and see if one of the rooms directly below theirs, either directly or like a few floors down, it should have the same layout. So using detect objects, I'm going to figure out exactly where in their room the vial is. Because as soon as I'm directly beneath it, I'll know exactly where in the room I am.
First things first, I would like you to make a stealth check. And then an investigation check. Stealth check to get in here unseen and unnoticed. An investigation check to pinpoint the location.
This whole building theirs? Or like different, like a completely different floor. If they're on like floor 17, I'm on floor 1.
This is not a skyscraper. These are multiple lodges that have 3 stories each.
Gotcha.
You are trying to infiltrate ground floor. You know that probably Vandergilt and Varen Hassan are on top. Their staff is probably below, and then their servants are below that.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to walk up to one of the maids, if I can find one, or one of the service individuals.
There's a woman taking out some laundry.
Sweet. I might request.
Request in what?
Me when I request.
We lost you at request.
My companions feel like some quick sleuthing.
Oh yeah, would anyone like to join Ace on this?
Request some companions, yeah. If anyone's feeling sneaky and sleuthy.
I don't really know what's going on, but I'd be down to sleuth.
Sure.
You guys are spying on people.
Yeah. You might do this while probably Delairn and I go and talk to the people on the roof with possible deniability.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. I'll try to make this quick as well because I don't like really splitting up the party. But I'll quickly go to one of the maidservants with Jet. And I'll just be, hey there, real quick, you might have heard, but I'm going to very stealthily kind of...
Stealthily kind of...
He's so stealthy, we can't even tell.
Flip over. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know why my entire computer decided to freeze. I'm gonna flip over one of those like FBI passport books, and on it's just gonna be a single red rose. I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, you might have heard. I'm actually looking for access to one of the lower story rooms. I'm trying to do some investigation. I think your boss might have let you know that I was coming around. So if you wouldn't mind showing me one of the lower story buildings, I'd appreciate it."
Jet coming with you for this?
Yeah, Jet's.
I would let. She kind of looks at both of you and says, "Oh, and is your friend is?"
Yeah, my friend's got a special set of skills that helps me in my. I'm gonna like lean in real quick and do
Deception
auditing duties.
Deception
Dylan,
checks for both of you. One of
Does
each?
my previous spell castings have any effect on this?
This will make it much easier. They are not like wary of you because of your
Sick.
previous things. Like the consequences, should you fail this, will not be getting
Do we
exposed.
have advantage because the waitstaff is charmed?
You
as
both
per
get
the
to make
spell?
one. That's what I'm saying for the.
Oh, because
I mean,
they're under magical influence.
Oh,
As per
this is
spell.
this is the.
This is the thing I did a long time ago. Every
Yeah.
single piece of staff of this hotel, as long as I'm not violent, should just about do what I say.
You have.
I'm sorry, I'm not casting that spell because that's a dark thing for Ace to do if it's going to have zero effect.
No, I remember what you were talking about. I was trying to. I had that switched up with the potion you had.
Right, the potion.
Potion. Yes, no, you. She starts. Oh yeah, we heard word from Lady Cantillion. It's a pleasure to have you around. I'll just be out here. Please let me know if there's anything I can get for you. Oh,
Yeah.
and also be cautious. The people in this building seem a little on edge.
Yeah,
You know,
we're just
bit
going to
my
look
head
at
off
one of
when I
the
tried to
lower
get the
floors.
sheets.
I'm honestly just taking a look at the floor plan. You know, I mean, I can't go into too much detail about my duties, but I am trying to make sure that, you know, the people at this event remain safe. You know, so if I can get a lay of the land of people's rooms without, you know, barging into their privacy, the better I can do my job. So if you wouldn't mind showing me a room, you know, very similar to, you know, what the Hassanian delegation has, that would be much appreciated.
She takes you down and says, "Well, they're having a meeting at the top floor right now, but I can take you to the lower one. Shouldn't be a problem."
Yeah, if you could just let me into the lower one, give me 10 minutes to just look
brings you
around.
both down the stairs and says, "And now don't touch anything. I'm gonna have to be here to make sure you're all kosher, but you two
Yeah.
look around and do what you gotta
Yeah,
do."
would you mind making a quick sketch of this room as we go through? I wouldn't use Jet, I would say I would make up some name on the spot.
Alto, I believe.
Yeah,
Greg.
Alto is the name I'm
Oh shit,
using.
I have to make up a name on the spot. Yeah, I don't want to use that name either. No, I'll just use Alto because he probably looks like Alto. in this case.
Greg!
Hey, Alto, do you mind taking a quick little sketch of this place as we go through, just in case, you know, just for the record-keeping purposes?
For the record keeping,
Yeah.
Jet
And-
is doing sketches.
And with my locate objects,
I want-
where exactly are the glass shards? Like, where, if I, like, stand directly under them in this room, like, where in the layout are they?
There is a large oakwood desk that is positioned towards the window overlooking the mountain. It seems to be kind of built as a general workspace, but it also has some weird drawers that don't quite move the way you expect them to. Like they come out and then they go up, and the hinges all travel in strange ways. It actually kind of like tickles your artificing brain because they managed to get somehow 4 shelves in one shelf. They just like come out, drop
I want to
down.
make it clear, Jet has like a small architect scale, like an engineer's scale and an architect scale, and he's like measuring and then doing this and then copying the measurements down.
Oh yeah, you do that perspective shit. You're like holding it like on the pencil and being like,
Yeah,
perfect.
and then like he has like the measurements of the walls guesstimated on his drawing.
He's like, that's about 6.5. Not feet, just of measurements of the guy.
Yeah.
6.5
Cool.
dudes.
One and a half
Yeah,
acres.
you. It is in this strange, slightly arcane, though in a pretty mundane kind of novel way, desk.
I'm gonna.
You know
pretend
that
to-
some of the drawers are also locked or lockable. These ones
I'll
are
make
not.
a show of like looking around at the rest of the room. You know, occasionally mind linking a Jet to like note down like which of the drawers are locked and like how it opens, just in case we need to like frantically get into this drawer, but actually in Vandergilt's room. Just having you familiarize yourself with it in case we actually have to break in and steal something quickly.
Another save.
So you did hear.
To see whether the glass is double layered or not. Like,
The glass is single layered, but you get that slight bubbly sheen from it that you do from other wizard glass.
I will also say this whole time, I'm only talking to Jet psychically, and I'm not saying any verbal words near the glass. As a rule of thumb, if there is glass in the room, Ace ain't speaking. I imagine that is the
Power of shutting the fuck up.
Yeah,
Literally.
I employ it.
Are you trying to think before you speak?
Cool.
As
That
you
was
are
such a great
there,
ability I'd never used.
It's a crazy, so powerful. You never once used it.
as you are finishing up here, you catch a shadow of movement from the road, like the staircase leading up. It seems like someone is climbing the stairs, scaling the mountain, but you can only see a shadowy figure from this vantage point at this time of night.
I feel like that's very important. Real quick before we derail into that, does see invisibility ping any wards, any like arcane locks?
There is an alarm spell around this whole place. That's the first thing you notice. In terms of arcane wards, you don't see any on this floor. You are only on the ground floor right now, but you have to imagine that the higher up it goes, the riskier that becomes in Vandergilt's locale. You also have a brief moment when you realize, oh, they're up there. They're only 2 floors above you right now. And if the maid is to be believed, they're having a pretty heated conversation.
Right. This has been. I'm gonna turn to the maid. Did she ever give a name? Dylan, having you invented a name? I'll repeat her name to her in a
Callie.
show. Respect.
Her name is Callie.
Callie. Hey, Callie. This room is wonderfully maintained. It's just as clean as one of the guest rooms that I'm personally staying in. You all do an amazing job. I just wanted to point that out. And I've seen a lot of summit buildings, and this is one of the nicest resorts I've ever been a part of. So, thank you for your time.
We do our best. And she kind of nods.
Everything is spick and span and up to code. You've been so helpful. Thank you so much.
As you and Jet kind of leave the building, do you turn to see if you can catch what's going on the 3rd floor, or do you just leave?
Yeah, I'm going to put my arm around Jet and just say like, hey, let's just have like a really close conversation where you're kind of like walking me. I'm going to go dark for a second.
Yeah.
Jet is going to black out and cast Arcane Eye. He is blind and deaf, but... with like an arm around Jet, like kind of vaguely pointing to just paper, but blindly, as you like walk me out the door. I'm going to cast Arcane Eye, and then through our mind link, I'm going to blast it to everyone. So everyone can see it. I'll warn people first before I just start blasting.
Anyone that like looks at us funny, Jet's like, wild night. Anyway.
What you see with your Arcane Eye is the following. Currently engaged, hands kind of animatedly talking in an argument. You see 3 figures on that floor. I will require an investigation check. just to see how good.
you know
Or
what
an
I
insight.
like.
Yeah.
Nope, not doing that. That's for sure. Can I do anything to make sure this goes well? No, I have no resources.
Just be good.
I could have given you a bardic before you left. I had
24.
like 2 left from the.
Oh,
thing.
poor baby, only a 24.
We might want to keep them. The night's just beginning.
But I can
Yeah.
take a short rest before we do anything else. Is what I was thinking.
Vandergilt and Baron Hassan
Oh, true.
are
Yeah,
both
good.
there having an argument with Akashi.
6.
It seems like the atmosphere you're picking up is something like Akashi just either revealing bad news or explaining some kind of ultimatum, followed by fury and outrage at Vandergilt and Baron Hassan. Whatever. Akashi looks strangely calm, like he was expecting this reaction. But Baron Hassan is panicking, clearly. And Vandergilt is sort of wide-eyed, surprised, but not necessarily, like, disgusted. He looks excited about an opportunity. And that is all you can get from the visuals of Arcane Eye. And you think that the magic barrier on the glass itself would prevent you from getting in there to hear anymore. But as you watch for a second, you actually see a couple flash.
Arcane Eye? I was gonna say, can my Arcane Eye see invisible things if I can? I did not buy the spell as written, but okay.
I would say yes.
Okay, cool.
If you have like a see invisibility active at all times, I think that would affect your true sight and scrying and stuff like that.
Can we put that in rule calls?
Yeah, just say you can see you can stack see invisibility in Arcane Eye.
Cool. Cool. I can't type in that channel,
we
but
can't
yes, I will
We
do
can't
so.
type that channel.
I'll edit permissions in a second.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna take note of that. Blast that out to the peoples.
after a while, Akashi
Wonder, damn, I wish I
leaves,
had clairvoyance.
and you immediately see the arcane flashes of light of someone who is beginning to cast a long and complicated spell. And then the windows go dark as the glass tints to obscure it from the outside world. And Akashi leaves the residence and begins to climb back up the mountain.
From my vantage, can I see who that shadow figure was? Was that Akashi?
Perception check,
From
DC
like eyes in the sky.
25.
Oh well, I just
You didn't
can't
look at
make
the
that. So
Great.
perception. Yeah, I've got a +1. I don't know if I can make that one, Chief. I will look and fruitlessly not find anything. Oh, darn.
Whatever figure you saw
job's done
moving
here.
around has vanished. You should be able to post in rule calls now.
Sick.
Yay. Alright. Moving on in the night, I think we are going to go to JT's scene at midnight. The darkness is settled.
Sorry, two
Yeah.
quick questions. One, is this still the same day as we fought the big slug?
It is technically still the same day, yeah.
Gotcha. And then second, did we get a short rest in between?
Wait, no, I'm so sorry. It's the day after you fought the slug, so you would have gotten a long rest.
Cool. I will do that.
I forgot that there was that night in Virago before you guys went up here.
Oh, you're right.
But I-
All right, cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And then did we get a short rest in between?
I would allow a short rest before midnight. Because dark lights out versus midnight is like a couple hours, so you have a little bit of time.
Ooh, I got
Oh,
another
Sick.
scroll
I'll
of
grab a
Platonic
5th level
Pattern.
spell back then. Yeet.
Is everyone going to meet with this individual? Are you guys going as a group? You're allowed to say yes, by the way. I
We'll
won't.
send in our
Wouldn't be weird.
charismatic people. Yeah.
I will
Can we do
say
it in like a
also,
stealthy way where we're not like clearly a
Yeah.
whole ass group?
let's roll a group stealth check for you guys to get up to the rooftop of the pavilion.
I'm gonna cast
Without
Pass
being
Without
spotted.
Trace.
Good idea.
I was gonna say I take it back. I just think I'm good with the mind link. I think I'm good
Yeah.
just hearing in.
I'm
I think
tempted to do my misform.
Yeah.
That could work.
You might want to save that. Oh, I
That's
guess
what I
you
was
get all your
thinking.
spells back on a short rest.
Yeah.
You get like all of your magic back.
Yeah, so I can just take a little nappy.
Go big or go home, I guess.
Yeah,
You can put the warlock in a bottle.
exactly.
The vape the warlock.
Hide me
You-
inside your vape cart.
Transform
I'll
back
be,
to
I'll be
Jet.
I would like a group stealth check if you're using magic to aid you.
If I'm a cloud, do I have to roll a stealth check?
The clouds are visible. I hate to. You can
You're
have
a cloud in a
advantage,
bottle.
but
Gives you a double jump.
22. I got a nat 20.
that's really good because if you didn't, that and Delarian's now one would be
Pass Without Trace. It is plus 10.
yeah, a 12. Congratulations.
30. 30.
That's not
33.
terrible.
Better than a 1.
Here's what happens. You guys all enter the manor again. Here. And start scaling the roof. There's stairs around the edges. You slowly make your way up. This place is very eerie with no one in it. You feel like you're being watched, but you can't tell from where until suddenly, Delarian, you hear some voices that seem to be coming from the balcony. Slightly heated discussion. And you lean forward to see who it is and just barely catch the image of Akashi and Marigold speaking in hushed tones. You just manage to get... Why are they fusing? The results aren't stable. This won't work. It doesn't have to work. It just has to be better than the previous version. Splinters of glory are still glorious in their own right. And you hear Marigold kind of respond and be like, those creatures, the result of this, are cursed. We cannot control them. They're not like the beasts we've been fighting. And he turns and says, I know that better than anyone. I caught a fair amount of those beasts myself. But still, this is the path the future takes us down. It is not our place to question what needs to be done. And it is at that point that Delarian, you trip over a tablecloth that was loosely crumpled on the floor and eat shit in a loud clang, knocking over a bunch of glasses and sending table settings flying.
Oh shit,
Who's there? Immediately, Delarian. I will say that all of you guys managed to hide yourselves. It was only Delarian that overreached.
Can I wait? As a cloud, can I just envelop Delarian so he's not visible?
I think a cloud
That's
in the middle of a
interesting.
room would be weird.
Yes, it's
You
weird,
could
but
use
your
it to
identity
shower
is-
scene with a
Your identity isn't seen.
Yeah, I will say
Like
yes.
some form of disguise self on, right?
No, I don't think so.
I thought we bought
We
Um,
have some makeup and some mundane
We don't want to rely
disguises
on. We don't want to rely on magic disguises though, because anyone powerful here could see through them.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think All right, so you're covering
But, like,
Delarian in a
We
mist
changed the
cloud.
hair. We dyed the hair.
I need a stealth check from Jet, and I need to know what Delarian is doing next. Immediately after this happens. Actually, Delarian, I need you to roll initiative real quick.
Oh boy.
Does the stealth check I already rolled not?
There's no.
I'll allow that to stack and stack. That 20, the nat 20. This can be for Delarian.
There's
That'll be
no
the cancel it
encounter
out.
that I can be part of.
Yep. You can just roll a d20 too. It's just for who moves first. You were Akashi.
Okay. Total 17.
Okay, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, we love making.
Is there?
Delarian, you are nearly pinned cushion as a series of metal spikes, swords, and rapiers come from out of nowhere in the corners of the room and all of the shadows and crevices behind curtains. Some wires out of the floor peel up and trap you in a wicked metal cage of blades and points and spines. You take 9 points of piercing damage and you are restrained.
Would the fact that I have blind sight in this cloud of mist help at all with it?
No. The mist cloud means that they can't tell who you are, but they have pinned you down. At least Akashi has.
Okay.
You guys all see Delarian get picked off and pinned to the floor like a butterfly to a page. A moth pin-up.
Pin up.
Oh, shut up. What do you guys do? As Akashi slams open the door and starts walking into the room, you guys have a split second before your compatriot is not only discovered, but seen.
Just to clarify the scene, they were loudly talking about their evil plans in a public hotel room.
No, they are
walking through the hallway of said public hotel room.
They were out on the balcony of the main ballroom, and while yes, this is technically public, this building is empty. People were told to go to their lodgings. If people are out here, they weren't expecting it at the very least.
Right.
And part of the
nat one curfew.
Yeah, we are well past curfew. And this is also not a hotel room. This is like the main ballroom.
Gang, I could just commit to being lost.
No, I know what we do. JT's gonna throw you a bardic inspiration, crawl under a table, and then the second that he comes in the door, JT's gonna stand up, knock his head on the table, and knock it over.
You make an impression. You knock over on the table, and you immediately have a sword 1 inch away from your eyes, just floating in air. Just.
I found it. And JT's holding up a bracelet. Ow.
Akashi looks at both of you. Deception check.
Deception check? Yeah.
Yep.
Is this both? Am I still in the fog?
From both or for one?
Hidden?
Did Jet leave the fog up?
If we're going for pretend, then no.
You'll disperse into the darkness?
Yeah.
All right, that is a 19.
I'm actually also going to spend I'm also going to spend an ancient recall. You also have bardic. So you can spend your bardic.
That'd probably be a good thing to do.
Sorry, minus 20.
You guys are so fucking lucky.
17.
One of them rolled a nat 20 and the other rolled a 2. I'm not going to tell you which is which. Marigold
did
kind
the
of
total beat our total?
Fucking pinned to the ground.
Not quite how this works.
But I forgot a bit of a predicament. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Akashi and Marigold look at both of you and
Oh,
says,
hi, Mark.
"It's
hi, Mom.
lights out, you two. The itinerary is quite clear. I would ask that you return to your lodgings."
Sorry, we just when we lost
Sorry,
this, and like we didn't think anyone would be here this late. We only
I
realized.
Rocco. No,
I
wait, you're not
wasn't.
Rocco.
I
You're Birdie.
apologize. I must have misunderstood that.
Birdie.
You're what? Oh, are you talking to us or someone else?
I think that was
No, I'm talking to the dog that's freaking
Oh,
out.
okay.
Nice.
I apologize. I must have misunderstood the itinerary. I did not realize we were to be confined to quarters. I thought this was a amicable.
It is
event.
not confinement, but we are setting up for tomorrow's festivities. I would kindly ask, as the host of this event, that
Oh,
you
sure.
both...
We'll get out of your hair. I'm sorry. I didn't realize we were being an inconvenience. We wanted to see if we could find it ourselves before we asked the staff, because everybody's so busy. We understand. We'll understand. We'll get out of your hair.
I would love to leave and get out of your hair as soon as possible. But could you? I'm a little pain.
Oh, yes. Fine. A horrible screeching sound as the countless swords curl up on themselves like withering plants or burning steel wool and kind of float up over you and then straighten themselves back out with just the worst noises you could imagine. It's like nails on a chalkboard times 1,000 of screaming metal.
No.
Yep.
No, never mind. I'm sorry. That's never mind.
Oh, are you worried for the temper of these blades being
That was
cold
exactly
so
what I was
much?
gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you how you maintain the temper, because I know I've shipped a few various metallic items, hatchets and such like, and I know if you get a good strong hit on something that doesn't want to be cut, it actually ruins the temper because of the heat of the impact.
Did
How
you
the hell do you
know?
do that?
He looks at you and is briefly considering not answering, but I think with your deception checks, he's feeling off guard enough. Well, there's two answers to your question. I am not a swordsman. I am a hunter. And it just so happens that I have power over metal. Now, most swordsmen have to use durable and flexible swords that won't break in the middle of combat. I don't have such a restriction. A broken sword in my hand is just as deadly as the finest crafted blade. If I send it...
Two swords for you.
Exactly. However, if I do really wish to preserve and reforge an item, and he takes out one of the curled, horribly bent rapiers, and he says, "Did you know," and he puts his hand out to it, "that with a strong enough electromagnetic field, you can heat metal to glowing?" And you watch as the sword does heat metal and kind of uncurls itself. And then usually I would need to find a blacksmith or something to fix it properly. But turns out the hot irons...
I got a canteen if you need to quench it.
He stabs it through your canteen and both sends a spray of steam out both ends and puts a hole in your canteen. It is now spilling onto the floor, and he draws the sword out. Just there. And he just gives it another temper. Good as new.
Well, I appreciate the demonstration. That's great. I'm just gonna lean down, just take off my coat, and use it to wipe up the puddle on the floor. Stand up.
Oh, no worries. Leave it for the servants. And then Akashi.
I don't want to be a bother. All right, y'all have a good night now. You two, ma'am.
She looks at you and has not said anything most of this encounter, and is just seething quietly.
Y'all take care now. Have a good night.
Yeah, have a good evening.
They leave, and you all pretend to. And you head up to the top.
Just go. Now, which way was it to our rooms again?
You're like, no, wait, we're meeting someone here. Shit. And then you make
JT
it.
holds
to
up
the...
his campus map and it's soaked. Ah, shit.
Damn, if only we had
You. Looking, you guys make your way to the top of the thing, where in a far corner you see the building. You see John de Goblion kind of smoking a cigarette in the shadows of the stairwell, and he looks at you all and says, "Hey, about time yous all arrived."
We ran into a little bit of issue, but we're all good now.
Oh yeah, I heard all of that. You guys really need to step a little quieter.
Listen, there was a tablecloth and I could barely
Don't you-
see a thing. My
Don't you
focus was
fucking dare. What do you see everything around you, you dipshit? Me too!
Oh,
Look.
Save face.
No.
Look,
You lost that right. I had to bail
no
your ass
skin
out and throw my
out.
reputation on the ground.
Yeah.
He leans in conspiratorially and kind of goes, "Now look, I'm calling you all out here as a favor to JT. If JT trusts you, then I trust you, right? And because you trust each other, you should trust me, okay? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make you all rich this weekend, all right? Overnight. There's more wealth that we are sitting on top of right here than anywhere else in this entire kingdom. Lost City is a gold Eldorado, picked clean, nothing but bones and scraps. Now this is the money pit." And he pulls out
You hear in the mental link the sound of your. I was gonna say in the mental link you hear the sound of a door shutting and Ace running hurriedly to your location. Wait up!
He reaches his hand so deep into his pocket and pulls out a strange artifice apparatus that he then kind of puts down like a toolkit, clicks some switches, and it raises up and turns into one of those kind of like coin-operated binocular things. And he says, "Take a look-see." And
There's a very interested cloud nearby.
I specialize in, what's the word? Collapsible gadgets. Artifice with pocket dimensions. My pockets run deep. And he
Oh
sets the
shit,
thing up.
the cloud's raining. Good. Jack, keep it together.
It's humid out here.
Take a minute.
You all look through the lens. Or who steps up
I'll
first?
take a look through the lens.
Perception check.
All hail the sentient.
Ooh. 13. I'll add a D4.
You're looking at the mountain.
Take advantage.
Specifically,
Well, I'm
a 15.
Take a look
That's
at
better.
Okay.
You're looking at the mountain, specifically a section on the far left side where there's a slight, subtle, dull red and orange glow emanating from behind it. And in the halo of the moon, you see a faint, pluming smoke trail rising up out of the ground. Do you know what you're looking at right now?
Not a clue.
You are looking at the godliest, naturally occurring material known to mortal minds. All right? That rock, the titular black rock, as they call it, is the most potent magical conduit that anyone has ever discovered. Now, the real trick, and the reason they need all of this kerfuffle, just to show it off, and why it's so hard to get a piece of, you can't mine it with iron. At least, not in any kind of efficiency. You would go at that mountain with a pickaxe for days and maybe scrape off a couple chips the size of your fingernails.
Is this going to
Now,
like
I-
a heavy lifting type job? Because we got another person we can bring in.
I mean, depending on how many rocks you can carry. Right now, this is just reconnaissance. I'm just telling you about the opportunity that exists here. Now, I happen to know that those mining operations, those carts that run all throughout this valley, all lead straight to the other side of the mountain, where they got some kind of industrial rig going on. I don't know where they're getting all this extra obsidian from, but if my idea is correct, they might have figured out a way to mine it more efficiently. Or at the very least, reproduce the effects. And whatever they're doing to do that is on the other side of that rock. And he points to the glowing, kind of pluming, slightly magma-like halo on the horizon.
10d10 damage and burning.
Now, there are carts that go from this mountain to that one every night, all the time, back and forth. They go in empty. They've been coming out carrying stones and ore and all sorts of stuff, all right? However, look, I don't got the muscle to take this on, but you guys do, and don't you think queuing your little tipster in with a bit of the spoils might be a worthy way of compensating for this lovely lead?
Of course, but provided you've only given this tip to us and you can keep your mouth quiet.
Oh, you saw me eat the key? Can't even open this. And he points at his horribly toothy maw.
What do you think?
It's probably at least worth looking at, seeing what the hell is going on.
Yeah, that's what I feared.
Yeah, it's a matter of how well we can do that without getting kicked out. Because that's not exactly a ballroom that we can talk our way out of.
No.
Unless we pretend to be passed out in a minecart. Which could be
That
funny.
could work. That could be
I'm
funny. That could be real good.
I'm gonna brain blast real quick.
Yep.
As much as I am for a get rich quick scheme, you all have a point. If this goes badly, the way we get out is by killing everyone who opposes us, and hopefully there's no witness. Like, this is a messy, get caught, show's over type of deal.
Can you see over there? With one of your...
I mean, I could, yeah. I could. Give me... For how long?
How long, Dylan? How long have I been a cloud?
Probably like 10 minutes. I don't know how long it lasts. I think an hour?
It lasts an hour, yeah. So
Yeah.
50 more minutes.
You got a while. You got a while in cloud mode. The cloud.
Yeah, you can check it out, Jet.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
there and back.
I mean,
Over. It is
I'm a
about
very
like
slow cloud.
it's like 10 to 15 miles away.
Oh,
It is a
Isn't
ways. It's not
your movement speed like 10? Isn't your movement speed 10 feet around in cloud form?
yes.
Isn't exactly a fast cloud.
I'm a pretty slow
You
cloud.
could take
Maybe if
like
we get a
5
good
car
gust
carts.
going.
Yeah.
When do we get 7th level spells?
Eventually.
So I will say this: you
We
guys
need to get
investigate
6.
those mines, or you could
Not
move
7.
on. In which case, either way, let's make the call now, so I know
also-
what we're doing with the rest of the session.
I want a brain blast, y'all. Do we want to deal with the serpent train?
The what?
You know that the train
Marigold
that
was getting into.
I forgot to. The train that arrived recently was seemingly full of monsters and beasts that Marigold had brought from her menagerie, including the basilisk whose venom you all stole.
I love when I'm at a party and
I
the
think we
rich
should
girl
go in
brings
there.
a pet tiger.
Yeah, you know.
I think we should
It's so cute.
investigate that.
Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't mind another vial of poison just in case.
Yeah.
They never expect the decoy venom.
Or I mean, it would just be useful to have, and as long as we don't put it in a similar glass case or we just hide it somewhere, we should be fine. Because locate object only finds the nearest, not all. So as long as we just keep it buried in some hole somewhere out in the mountaintop, like, who cares?
Yeah, that'd be pretty useful.
All right. You guys approach the train in the dark and immediately hear the sound of movement and life from within. Scratching claws, strange huffs and snorts and bestial moans that sort of ominously echo in the metal frame of the train. Oh, good. You all know that there are creatures in there. You've only seen one of them, but there are a lot of cages on this train. The first 3 cars are passenger only, but everything past that,
It's the creature zone.
yup.
The creature.
Do you want to try and look in some of the cages?
Yeah.
Perhaps
From a
we
safe
shouldn't
distance.
when one of them is a creature that turns people to stone.
I
Can we look in
mean, once
only
again,
exclusively via mirror?
Can you turn a cloud to stone? Wait, if Cloudjet got turned to stone, would he just turn into a puff of like concrete dust?
Don't breathe him in, you'll get silicosis.
If you or a loved one has been inhaling jetophilioma,
Concrete dust.
Cement.
that's concrete, baby.
That's cement, baby.
I love snorting concrete. Hi, bird.
Yeah. I mean, we really just need the one. Okay, who knows how to milk a basilisk?
Oh,
I mean, no.
Oh,
Because we need the basilisk venom.
Jet!
Wait, JT, you know a lot of things. Oh, also Jet, but like, we'll put that on the back burner. Jet, were you ever like a snake farmer in your past?
Can I make a history check to see if I was a snake farmer?
Yes.
only in D&D.
16.
You know what? I think
Mongoose
I don't think you were
farmer,
ever
damn.
a snake farmer, but I think at one point you got bitten by a snake so much over the course of your life that you became immune to snake venom. There's this one in your life where you got bit by a snake every fucking week.
Yeah.
God damn.
They had it out for you, dude. You pissed one of them off.
I was working as a reptile outreach specialist, and
Yeah. Okay.
And you reached out a little.
Do we have a game plan for milking this snake? Then anyone? Because we can just go in there and just give it our best shot. I mean, I can also cast locate object again and see if there happens to be a conveniently placed pre-milked bottle of snake venom.
Terrible word you keep using.
It's accurate, all right. I read a book.
Is this the one that makes you stone if you look at it, or is that different?
No, this is the one that makes you stone if you let it. I guess goo on you.
The Gorgon is the one that makes you stone if you look at it. The Basilisk is like if it bites you. Looking in the train car, it does seem like it seems reptilian, but as you look in, it doesn't quite seem serpentine. It has a strange kind of like, as you sort of like look into the minecart, you see it kind of unfold, and one of its eyes turns to you, and then the other eye turns slowly like a chameleon, kind of 3D protruding from its head, and then its whole kind of upper head and neck twist over to you as its body uncurls into a mini, tiny legged chameleon looking thing. A strange chimera of a creature. Snake with legs.
Oh god, snake with legs. That's just a lizard.
No, they have
Wow,
different
look
jaw
at that lizard.
structures, scales, and tooth.
Fine, it's a skink.
Oh, I forgot to say, it has
Hey,
it has like 6 sets of legs. It is almost insectoid the amount of eggs this thing has. Yes.
Hey, Delarian, what do you think your odds of not turning to stone are? I feel like you've got one of the highest chances of not becoming stone. You were 6, but 6 is taking a nap, I feel like.
Oh, he's risen.
I think 6 woke up.
Passed out in the car over next to us. Had a wild night with the basilisks.
Because it's either you, 6, or you, Delarian, I feel like are the best at resisting being turned to poison in case this goes wrong. Or being turned to stone in case this goes wrong.
Is it poison?
It is a poison.
I'm immune to poison.
Oh.
Well, it's a poison that turns you to... I don't really know where it lands on the magic to thing spectrum.
What do you say, Dylan?
It's a poison that its job is to turn you to stone or petrify you. You get saves for it. I think for the purpose of this, you would probably have like advantage on those, but I don't know if you'd be immune because it's not like poison like, oh, I'm trying to shut down your bodily organs, which you would not have a problem.
Because of that,
Yeah.
if you guys, if no one can do it better.
I've got the lay on hands can let me cure or neutralize poison. I don't know if I can.
So I should do it, and then if things go wrong, Delarian can save me.
Well, I
Sure.
can't lay
That
on
work.
hands you, right? Though.
Oh.
I mean, you're still welcome to try. You've got the best shot of any of us.
What's the worst that could happen?
Actually, well, here's the thing. You can't lay on hand 6, but 6 can't get poisoned. I feel like if there's any poison that 6 can get, then all of a sudden 6 could... You could remove the poison off 6, right? Because there's no health to give 6 back, and there's... Yeah.
That's a DM.
I mean, we could try. Essentially, we could try, is what I think we can do. And then if it goes horribly wrong, we've got a stone 6.
Okay.
Bro's about to get
Which is pretty bad.
What do you want me to roll, Dylan?
Animal handling. That's the only one it could be.
Oh, can I do something real quick? Can I cast Hypnotic Pattern on this creature first?
Sure.
I'm going to quickly just hold out. What would a 6-legged lizard really like? I'm going to hold out a card, and on it it's just a picture of itself, and I'm just going to like bend it and fold it, and it's going to do like a little wiggly motion.
You see its
And it needs to
eyes
make a
doing that
saving
chameleon
throw.
thing where they
Anyone
like
can make this
follow it in different patterns.
Well, I got it.
Right, I'm picturing
needs to
hypnotic
make-
pattern now. Someone just takes a pencil and does this with it.
First, I want to.
You are having disadvantage on wisdom saving throws.
Dylan, can you make a intelligence saving throw?
Sure can. That is a 13.
Higher than an 18.
Nope.
Okay, well it's going to take 2d6 psychic damage. Sorry, creature. And then it's going to take 5 points of psychic damage, and then it's going to subtract a d4 from its next saving throw. And then I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern.
I'm gonna cast silence
Alright.
on the creature too.
So now it must make a...
Its screams go unheard.
You can cast it too? Okay, we'll just... I mean, we can just keep casting. I mean, we're burning
I'm
through
casting
resources,
silence.
but we can just do it until we succeed.
Yeah, give me an animal handling check at advantage.
Oh, nice.
You can get one more roll at that.
that.
With the hypnotic pattern, I'm giving you
Oh,
another
that's just a
roll.
10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because this creature is incapacitated. It literally can't move, can't act for a minute. It's just frozen.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you get 2 more doses of basilisk venom from this creature. It doesn't have fangs, and it takes you a while to be like, where the fuck is the venom? And then you realize that at the end of its tail, in a weird insectoid pod stinger, like a scorpion, there is a venom sac that you managed to extract quite a bit of. So you now have 3 doses of basilisk venom.
Wonderful.
Someone make me a nature
I'll keep
check about this creature.
Could I do Arcana?
I have a
Sure.
I have a nature at +6. I can make a nature check.
Holy shit.
Why is my nature so high? 18. Apparently
This
nature's
is
an int
not a-
score. Why? No one knows.
This is not a real animal. This is not a
I
basilisk.
fucking knew it.
You have never
You
seen
don't look
this
like
creature.
the picture.
You're not in the textbook. You can't tell if this is like a case of other people getting this creature's description wrong, or if this creature literally just defies description in the same way that you're used to monsters being. Like, it looks
Damn
like
it,
someone
y'all.
fused parts of several different animals into this.
What is this shit? A serpapard?
Guys, it's Darwin. It's Darwin's basilisk. I've heard about this.
It's Shao Tucker. Where is he?
Oh,
It's a
God.
bunch
Oh,
of
God.
basilisk on a bunch of.
I want to play. Papa, let's play.
Cool. We should get out of here before we're caught.
Rocco's basilisk.
Oh wait, actually, does anyone? Do we want to look for like papers and shit? Let's just look for papers real quick. I
Let's
want
look
to
for some
rifle
fucking
through papers.
Maybe we can find the deed for her animal buff.
While under the silent spell,
Investigation.
my creature decides to screech. Investigation. 17. Could I have advantage if people are helping me? Could someone help me?
I can't.
With
And I'll
this?
give you guidance as well.
Yay!
I'll help.
Give me the help action.
Woo!
I'm like vaguely.
Everyone's investigating.
I don't know how a cloud would be helpful. but I'm
27
trying.
plus
What are you doing it?
28.
I'm going to say this applies to the whole train. You look through the back cars of this train and find a weird, twisted menagerie of some creatures you've seen before and some that you have no idea how God would let that happen. For example, you see one car has one of those spiky squirrels that you fought with these spines in their tails. But there's another, the Katachi, and the other creature in the car is kind of like if you had a great ape or some kind of like simian monster that is now growing those quills out of its back in a mane. It does seem to have a few that are stuck in it at the wrong angle, but a strange hodgepodge fusion of monsters.
I'm gonna look at one of the carts and just kind of like gag and be like, "That's the worst creature I've ever seen," and it's like just a pug. What kind of twisted monstrosity?
They took a gelatinous cube and fused it with a dog.
That poor creature.
Honestly, I feel like a gelatinous dog would be cute, though.
The other thing you find on the
a
27
sloppy-
investigation, contained within iron mesh on the floor of these train cars are small obsidian stones. Some of them look to be carved into the shapes of arrowheads, and some just look
Right, yeah.
to be fragments.
We know what these are. Do they?
They have
The
stuff
other ones we
going.
interacted with, specifically the big stone. Sorry, my delay is really bad. So sorry if I'm cutting people off.
You're good.
It's been pretty bad. I don't know what's going on.
The Wi-Fi. More like Wi-Fi.
Tried turning it off. Oh, doing it. Okay.
Beep boop.
I was about to
How
say
do you-
try turning it off and on again, and then you fucking beat me to it.
You know what these stones are. You have seen them before. These are the same as Ikatami's arrowheads. However, the ones you see here are contained in iron lattices, and while they have fusion color within them, they look dimmer than Ikatami's. Far in the back of this train, on a 27, you spot, curled up in the corner, ears swaddling it in a little nest, and horns peeking out at the top, Daisy, the jackalope you saw ascended, sits curled up in the corner of this train car, captured and grounded.
Hey, Daisy.
Looks up, barely moves. Head goes
Guys.
So
She looks wounded.
Can you
we're doing a jailbreak, right?
can you speak, Daisy? Can you hear us?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
You
easy
look at
because
it.
I want something out of it first. No good deed goes unpunished.
It doesn't talk.
Did it talk last time, or did we have to use speak with animals?
Yep. No, it definitely did.
It should.
It couldn't talk
I think we got
before.
ourselves.
Yeah, but now it can no longer speak. Somehow.
Maybe the
I think we got a
activate
case of the gold compass on us.
I'm gonna try something.
Sure.
Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna use whatever it's called, universal speech. This ability I have to allow me to speak any language and to communicate with any creature, and try to speak with it there and see if it can if it's like able to respond in some way but can no longer communicate directly, or whether it's like lost the ability to communicate at all.
I can't now.
You try to reach out, and this thing looks up at you with pleading eyes, like it can understand what you're saying, but it can no longer speak back.
Can we add it to the mind link, maybe? I don't know if that's possible, Ace.
I think you.
And go like. Huh?
It kind of opens its mouth and closes it again, like.
Has the tongue been cut out? That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, the tongue has not been cut out. JT, you think with your comprehend languages thing, you can get yes or no answers out of it, but you can't get like articulate responses.
Gotcha. Anyone have ideas?
Can we write on a piece of paper, like, what if we wrote down essentially Ouija board style and just let it point out?
Could the rabbit spell before this? But
could we? I mean, I got a question. I'm gonna just say, is your loss of speech a physical ailment?
The way you set it up was 1 thumb for yes, 2 for no.
Sure, nod head.
2 thumbs.
2. Can you not clap because it doesn't come through Discord? Whatever it blocks it.
2 thumps. No, it was not through physical ailments. Or she sort of like
Was it
hesitates.
one of these rocks?
1 thump. Yes. And she kind of lifts up her belly and shows on like kind of a tuft a wounded scar that goes across.
Is the rock inside of you?
Shakes his head. Nope.
Is the rock in one of these creatures?
Another no.
Is it in this cart?
Another no.
Is it with the person who did this to you? To the best of your knowledge. Right.
Yes.
Right. And is she blonde?
Another yes.
Right. Okay. Cool.
There's one more thing from your 27 investigation check.
I like to look at things.
There's another. There is another creature in this car. You barely noticed it at first because it has not moved, even in reaction to you all being here. A strange, distorted, almost like alligator-esque, but longer and with kind of strange double-jointed limbs that is curled in the corner. It looks like someone tried to reverse engineer a dragon, but had a body that did not have enough material for it. So it ends up being a stretched silver framework that when you look at it closely, looks up at you with pale blue eyes that look so familiar.
History check? Ooh. What alchemy? What emblem? What alchemy is this?
Yeah, what alchemy is this? Make a history check. Or an arcana check.
Well, I mean, that was more of a joke. I was referencing the show. History.
A reference in my D&D campaign?
Arcana.
Not allowed. That's a 6.
Or Arcana.
Oh, I would definitely
did.
take the thing I'm proficient in. Oh, much better.
Oh my god.
That was
it's
a
the exact
3.
same roll.
I rolled two. Well, that's just fair. 13. Maybe I got blessed by the paladin. You know, very useful. Could be casting it literally every second of every that day.
Hey, man.
I can
As you guys are in this train car, two things happen at once. Ace, you make a realization. This is a twisted version of the butler, Mortimer Monteblanc, the silver dragonborn who was in charge of securing the jackalope.
Oh, I feel bad for being so shitty to him.
That's kind of metal, though.
As you realize this, the train begins to move. You hear a voice come over in a speaker of Marigold. Well, well, my beauties, it's now time for the next leg of our excursion. I'm taking you somewhere safer. It'll be warm, you'll have all the space to frolic, and a great many friends to share your time with. So sit tight, and we will be on our way. Covering off that Arcana check, you can tell that there is enchantment laced into that message to pacify these creatures for a little longer. And the train...
Very quickly, how difficult would it be to uncouple a train car?
You think these ones would be pretty difficult. These are well secured, and all railroad security has gone up since recent events. Who could have seen that coming? But it's possible.
If I were to cast Ace's in a train car, what would happen to the train car?
Depends on which angle you cast it. As far as
dynamite on the coupling peg.
It's not quite a charm effect, Talarian. It's more like an enchantment pacification. It is like to suppress their violent animalistic instincts.
Like calm emotions, the spell.
You think you could probably focus on like one creature or so and get them to break free of it, but probably not the whole damn 3-car apparatus.
It's 10 feet, 10 foot radius.
So you guys are now on your way. you
Yeah.
realize that you have been taken on the rail line that goes towards the mountain.
Can we not get off while it's still slow?
Yeah, I was gonna say we gotta get off because it's a day to the top of the mountain, right? Like it takes a
No,
whole
no,
day to travel there.
It is basically like it's like a couple hours there and a couple hours back. It is kind of you're at like the midway station for that outpost. It's a couple days from Virago to get up here, but the actual like Mount Murasakiro is not that far away by train. You can get there in like 2 or 3 hours.
I mean, we could see where this goes, or we could just dip. Seems too. Seems like a bad idea.
Can we-
scouted first?
Is there anything we can put on the train to track where it goes?
A bomb. No.
Yeah, something
any
unique.
object that Harrison knows.
True.
Yeah, something unique, an object that won't ping somewhere else.
Or we can scry Mortimer Monteblanc, the butler.
Yeah, I
true.
can scry him too. That's a high level spell, but I can scry it.
All right.
All
right.
but before we go, do these have like keys, Dylan, in here for the cages?
You can't see any. No. Seems like whatever
No.
method opens these cages requires ferromancy to work.
Can I make note of how what type of screws are used in the construction of the cages?
Yeah, you make some notes on the bars and of this place. It is heavily secured. These are all-purpose prison cars made to contain magical beasts or magical individuals. It's kind of hard to tell. There are no screws visible from the inside. All of the rivets and things are from the outside in. You cannot... Actually, it is a DC 20 Artificer's Tools check to find a weak point in these cars.
I'm gonna try it.
Give you guidance.
Does anyone have Bardic or anything?
I'll give you guidance.
Guidance, okay.
The default.
Oh, I'm not gonna make it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
11. It is locked down tight. You have no idea what to do. But it sounds like you guys have at least made a discovery of what's on this train. And for the moment, you are leaving it to its fate and moving about your alternative.
Before we leave, I'm going to hand to the bars to the rabbit one of the basilisk vials of poison, and just whisper to it, or say, you seem pretty intelligent still. We can't break you out now, but honestly, I think if you were to find a way to break yourself out, I'd align more with your nature, and perhaps fix whatever was done to you.
It looks up, thumps the floor a couple times in solidarity, gives a nod with its horns, and looks up with a drive in its eyes that was not there before.
Be tricky.
At least it winks at you. And you all leave the train to its fate as Marigold takes her menagerie up the mountain to an unknown fate. We are going to call that night there for now and pick up the next morning. Long rest. Ladies and gentlemen, you get a long rest.
Everyone, time for your favorite game of lotto numbers. Who wants to put down money what my 2 important rolls will be?
3 and 17.
13 and 5. Not
That's
bad
within
numbers.
a couple.
That was within a couple.
That is within at least 0 to 20 of what it could have been.
It was within a 20, you are correct.
I'm gonna roll auto roller. Oh, fuck yeah! I got haste. Alrighty.
Haste without trace.
Hell yeah.
I haste,
Haste
and I
without
get to
trace.
roll again. Ice storm. It's pretty good. Wait, no, that's a flaming sphere. My bad. Ice storm would have been pretty good though.
Yeah.
Waking up in the morning, there is a hustle and bustle as people begin to scramble forth to arrive for breakfast. A beautiful continental with a smorgasbord of buffet items, biscuits, toast and jam, all sorts of small appetizers and the like.
And 0 protein to be found.
Lots of eggs, but like in weird, pretentious forms. So like a lot of foams. There's some that are like, there's like a smoothie
That's
you
just a
drink
square.
out of an egg.
They just made a square egg.
Yeah,
And made it look like a watermelon.
You know?
koala eggs.
Koala eggs?
Koala eggs.
Yeah, you know,
No, I
because they're
don't.
square. Isn't it
you're
like
thinking of
koalas
this-
that square poop or something?
You're thinking of
No.
wombats.
Wombats, that's it. How could I be so blind?
Hey, yo, real quick, this is the morning that I intend to do the stone plan. I wanted to touch base with everyone here and make sure that we all knew, because later tonight's going to be the hunt. Right?
Yeah.
So, we gotta, honestly, we have like 3 more days of this event. We gotta start knocking off some of these rivals like ASAP.
Yeah, let's
Like,
do it.
kill it.
So I want to just vaguely outline what I thought of doing, and then y'all, based off your skill set, can do literally anything to help this plan, because it's really hinges on some niche factors. But the bare bones of the plan is I talk with Vandergilt, I practically apologize for whatever, ask if I could, meet him as a representative of the step and not as the adventurer, and if he can be professional enough to like handle himself, right? And then I'm going to poison myself. Turn to stone. I don't know how I'm going to unbecome stone, Delarian or Jet or whoever. If you guys could get one of the clerics to do me a favor, that'd be great. And then we're going to frame Vandergilt, because I'm going to hopefully become unstone. I'm going to spit out dramatically some of the glass shards from the vial that I have. And I'm not going to blame him initially, but I'm going to be like, let's cast an investigation. Where are these glass shards? I already checked. They're in his room. They find the glass shards in his room. I demand that a cleric come with, the tell the truth spell, zone of truth, right? It's going to force both of us to tell the truth, but I can lie. Maybe Vandergilt can, but I'll make sure some Dispel Magics are cast first on both of us, and I have a sneaking suspicion that my magic item is a bit more stubborn than a generic Dispel Magic. And then we just practically just gaslight the shit out of Vandergilt, like, would you want to kill me? Have you tried to kill me in the past? Would it make you, happy to eliminate me right here, right now, right? That kind of shit. And if they ask me the same questions, I've never seen that poison before, I don't know where he got it. He might actually know where the poison came from. I presume he does. He's got glass ears everywhere. So.
Alright.
This
Let's
isn't a mind
get into this conspiracy, shall we? We're going to take this one step at a time. So to start with, Ace, you approach Vandergilt's table. He looks
I want
a
to say,
little tired.
does anyone have things that they want to add to this plan? If
Yeah,
anyone
yeah,
can
that's
think
it.
of
Just
like
the fact
extra motives, places to be, whatever.
I've got protection
I can-
from poison.
There's a cat here, by the way.
I need to get poisoned.
Yeah.
For
he
those
needs
that
to get
celebrate.
poisoned.
What we
I have-
Wait,
Ooh.
if I can
Huh?
subtly cast
A paper
it on
bag.
Vandergilt, we can look
Yeah,
like
there's a
it's
cat next to the paper bag.
Oh, I didn't even notice him.
Dog.
He blends in with the background very well.
Oh, clever.
I have Jalarzi Storm of Radiant. No, never mind. I do have the same ability to lie without being compelled.
Oh, right. Could you could you be like a Hassanian turncoat and be like, I know. Wait, have you ever, as a Hassanian individual, sold or bartered poisons?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Never. Wait, what do you mean? Is that something?
Well, I'm just saying, if you were to
Define
step
poison.
out during this dramatic moment and be like,
The difference
I
between
recognize
poison
that
and
poison.
medicine is
the
dosage.
Hassanian Empire just bought 9 shipment, like say, like literally say how much bestless poison you've seen come through that town, and say, yeah, large. I've seen the purchases for that turncoat,
I can do that.
or whatever else. I just think that'd be
And as a
great
bonus,
for you to just
yeah, I will step in where I'm needed.
sick.
And yes.
So
and
here's the main things of this plan. You have to introduce yourself to Vandergilt in a way that doesn't make him pissed off to like dismiss you right out. You have to somehow get the poison into your glass without him noticing, and then you have to get poisoned and then follow through with the convincing them to unpetrify you. So let's start with the first one: approaching Vandergilt. What's your?
Oh, I will say, you think you can get the ship captain here? Ship captain woman?
Yeah, Cheng Sao is actually here at breakfast with a number of her lieutenants. She is sort of keeping to herself and her own crew a little more this morning. She's on an upper balcony looking over things, but is here, making an appearance.
Okay. Gang, step 1. Talk to Vandergilt.
Yeah.
What's your entrance?
I could cuss out because we're kind of friends. I could talk to Tensor before, and then I could like fake cuss him out.
That could be a good way to
Make a
go.
bit of a scene.
There you go.
I just thought of that, but I don't know if that'll work. But like maybe I say something, I throw like a drink in his face. I ask for a refill. One of you guys gives me my glass filled with poison.
No,
Well, that
it
might be
shouldn't be us.
suspicious. Yeah. I can get one of the servers to give me my poison glass. They owe me a favor. He says in the least suspicious way possible.
You find what was
I
her
need to
name?
level with you.
Yeah.
How many of the servers did you have sex with? Because they all seem to owe you something.
Well, just like the bosses, but not sex. It was like, trust me, it was not consensual.
Relations.
Vandergilt!
Vandergilt is at a table with Baron Hassan, kind of looking like he has a headache, and kind of shooting death glares over a mug of coffee towards you and Tensor, and now Akashi. Every once in a while, he just sends a sidelong glance of suspicion over that way.
Okay, I'm going to give one of my poisoned glasses. Before this happens, I'm going to give my stone juice glass to one of the like cocktail waiters. But in a way, like they don't even fucking know. Like I'll go into the kitchen, I'll just say I'm doing my inspection thing, and I'll just like grab the glasses, take a look at, and then like move on. But I'll poison one.
All right. You make a poisoned glass. It is circulating the rounds. You're keeping tabs. How do you approach Vandergilt? What's your entrance?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Tensor in the mind link real quick. I'll cast a message. Hey, Tensor, I really need to talk to Vander, and the only way I can talk to him is if I make kind of like a stink with you. Do you mind?
Ooh,
I'm just gonna just say some heated
theater.
things like you. Yeah. Just pretend it's theater.
Really
it's not
get
gonna
into
disgrace
it.
you. I'm
You
just
know,
gonna
lay it
pretend
on
like I'm
me.
way too big for my britches. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna.
You
like, walk
already
up to
do that
him,
very well.
chat
Your
him.
method acting, I respect it.
Yeah. So you know.
Just
right,
act
so
super
I'm
vain
gonna-
and conceited. Should be really
Yeah,
easy.
I'm gonna whisper. I'm gonna start low and kind of whisper this beginning. I mean, like, hey, Tensor, like, we never brought it up, but like, you know, you owe us a great deal for seeing your ass back at the tower.
I don't know you,
know,
shit.
you
My
made a
tower
lot
was
of
just
promises.
fine before you came in here, and it'll be just fine afterward. He starts going like really
Oh,
into
okay.
it.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah. So you were just fine. So when we found you bleeding out on the floor, and you made us all these promises of riches, you were
I
doing
had
bullshit,
more
right?
blood. Just because
Yeah,
I
okay, well,
hired the
next
extra
time
help all
I'll
the
let
time
you.
doesn't mean I need it.
Yeah, okay. Well, next time I'll let you die then.
All right, deception check.
Oh, can I have been blessed and buffed before this?
Yeah, that blessing and
Yeah, I'll throw a bless at you.
and Bardic.
Ooh.
Yes, thank you.
Bless
Oh, actually, all of you
only
might.
last for like a minute.
A minute.
So
I think this is
DC for this
will be a
insight
cool
check is 16.
deception.
That is the DC. Yep.
25.
Oh, easy money.
I do have proficiency.
Yep.
okay.
You
of
see
my three-
Vandergilt. The rest of you are kind of keeping tabs on this situation as it unfolds, and you see that Vandergilt looks over and kind of sneers. And as you make like a big stink about payment and like betrayal or whatever, and I assume storm off in a huff, he kind of looks at you laughing like, another prodigal student. Betrayed by the
Yeah, so
great
after I've thrown
Master
my-
Tensor.
After I've thrown my drink in Tensor's face, I'm going to storm over to Vandergilt's table.
You throw the drink in his face, and he perfectly catches it all in his mouth. Some of it gets on his robe, so there's still a bit of a commotion, but I just wanted that detail. It's canon.
Sure. his beard, like the roots of a flower, drawn into his face.
Yup.
Nourishing
Yeah,
him.
that's how he sinks his tall glasses. He sinks his whole beard.
Every-
and just
His
It's like a
proboscis
straw.
comes out and slurps it out of the air and then goes back in his mouth.
whizzes
Every
Lord.
single one of his beard hairs is a straw.
awful, terrible. Growing out of his face.
I'm gonna storm over to Vandergilt's table. And ask, mind if I have a sit down and chat with you real quick?
He looks up at you and says, now, normally, I wouldn't let you within fireball range of me, but for the sake of diplomacy, and because it seems you have tussled with the same tense mentor that I have,
Oh, I get it!
perhaps there's a
Never mind,
little bit we could discuss together. I have to admit. and
Yeah, I
kind of-
mean,
he mage hands a chair out for you to sit down across from him. I have to
I'll
admit,
put my full trust in him and sit in it as he has his hands on the back. It's the perfect opportunity to do the
Wisdom
chair
saving.
pull trick. Ah, deck save. He pulls the chair from under you.
yup.
Wisdom save.
This is some real Charlie Brown ass.
But you gotta accept the humility.
And I'm gonna flag down the server of drinks.
You flag down the server of drinks, and you get your vial, and he says, yes, well, I am curious. I was rather disappointed that you decided to take Tensor's side at his tower over mine, after I was the one who gave you that charge in the first place. I was a little upset. I was trying to groom you into something greater, a powerful mage.
Bro's out here.
This
All
man
distinctly
grooming
all
is the
5 party-
least surprising thing I've heard this campaign.
Yeah, without fail, it's
I-
totally not suspicious. 5 party members all cringe at the same time in their respective locations. Everyone's like,
You could have been a great wizard if you'd studied under me. Ace, if that is your real name. I suppose fate was more of a nom de plume.
it's what it's my gig name. You know, it's what I have to go on stage with.
Oh,
Yeah, unrelated.
So what do you want now? Come to ask for my
I want
forgiveness after squandering it?
No, because honestly, I don't think I'd get it. I'm here
You're
for
right
a
about
simple
that.
reason. I am here as a representative of the step. And I know that our past has been troubling, but I'm hoping that for the sake of decorum, that Tensor did not show me, that you'd be able to separate my duties as an adventurer versus my actions here as a representative.
Make a persuasion check. Just real quick.
Oh, this is so much of me doing things. Why did I do this?
I know.
Perception.
This will be the last one,
For
probably,
the
before you.
consequences of your action.
Persuasion. Okay, well, I do have a Portent and a Lucky and a Bardic and a Bless. Okay, we're good.
Well,
Okay, I'm gonna use a Lucky. I'm gonna use a Lucky, and I'm gonna re-roll that. Persuasion.
Worse.
Better. And then I'm gonna use a Bardic, which is a D10 plus 2.
Plus 2.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna use a Bless.
Okay.
24.
He sort of smiles to himself, feeling that little bit of power he has regained over you. And he says, "Very well. I promise to look at you as a consummate professional for this event, and I vow to forget all your many secrets and preserve your
Anything that
power."
Ace is, it is a consummating professional.
It is a consummate professional.
Why don't we cheers to our new truce, just for this weekend, and we can go back to spiting each other afterwards.
Cheers. I'm gonna quickly mind link to people. I'm like, people who are a little bit more in tune with the crowd. Should I make them a little angrier as we take a sip?
Sure.
He seems to be too polite to try to poison me. Actually, no, he's just good at being a dick.
He's just a piece
People
of
would
shit.
still believe he'd still poison me while being nice. to me.
They believe
Yeah.
he poisoned you.
Sweet. This is as I'm doing this, my link. I'm just going to take one of those like super pretentious like smells of my vintage, roll it around a little bit, take a little sip, smell it some more as I'm having this conversation.
What shall we cheers to?
Good.
To the better
Solid
wizard.
relationship.
I'm just going to hit him with to the better wizard. Not saying who.
To the better wizard.
And I'm
For the
going to
might
try
of
my
magic.
poison.
You down it. Make your Constitution save. This
I
won't
choose
affect
to
whether
fail.
it takes effect, but I
Okay.
just want you to know how much it hurts.
Oh, okay. So do I want the save? No. Well. Oh, I do also have advantage against being poisoned because I am technically a halfling. What's my other half, you ask? Bastard.
The other half.
First half wizard. Second half bastard.
Just a lot of ards.
One.
Ace, your throat seizes up. You feel like you just swallowed a brick and they all just hit your stomach at the same time. The rest of you watch Ace start to spasm and have almost like a violent seizure as his limbs and muscles start to lock up at the dinner people. Commotion starts around. People seem to notice a little bit. Vandergilt looks panicked as you kind of clutch the tablecloth and like grab it. You describe to me the position Ace takes as you are petrified.
Don't ask Ace that.
Like, are you pointed? Like, you have about 3 seconds before you will no longer be able to move.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with the classic like on my butt, like kind of like crab walking backwards, but like scooting away from Vandergilt in my last few moments, like I'm fleeing. And then I'm gonna do my best to put on a look of hurt betrayal. I'm gonna imagine that I had performed sexual favors and he did not give me my spell scroll back. Just a deep look of hurt and betrayal that I've probably felt before as a young apprentice wizard.
Nothing like not being
Method
paid
acting.
for your work.
Method acting as I look at him with deep sense of betrayal.
I put the free in freelance. All right.
Oh.
Performance?
No.
Yeah, I think that's a performance. The rest of you need to act now as this situation begins to spiral into chaos. What do you all do next to maintain control of this interaction before you see the iron dragons and the guards around here are quickly converging in?
13.
think-
You have a moment to
Oh,
intercept.
plus.
I meant to mention this earlier, but like maybe talk to Giovanni preemptively and just say like, "Hey, just make sure there's a cleric."
Giovannia sort of nods and says, "The 7 sages will be there. There will be clerics abound."
Alright, then Valerian in the moment will shout, "Get a cleric! The man's been poisoned!"
I feel like
Almost
the Ocean 11's like setbacks. Everyone can look back in time to say they did a thing because we've known about this plan for like a day
Yeah.
and a
No,
half at this point.
this is the thing for these arcs. You can retroactively do your heisty like cutaways if you want. That's a fun way to run these.
Oh, I know. In the flashback, as we go back in time, last night on our way back, I went back to the feasting hall and slowly unscrewed all the tabletops in the high table, almost all the way. So when Fate knocks into it, the table falls over and falls apart. This huge clatter and commotion, and everyone looks.
You escalate the chaos. Go ahead and make me a performance check just to like catch people's attention. Delarian, I need you to make a quick persuasion check for your religious friends.
Alright. Bless.
Bless and I'd say I give everyone Bardic before this started.
That makes sense.
Alright. Plus 16.
That's not terrible.
Not awful.
That's okay.
I'm gonna shout, "Someone get a cleric! The man's been poisoned!"
But I did it louder.
Well, yeah, I'm giving you advantage.
Oh,
That's what I'm doing.
I am a cleric. I will assist here, and you look to see the purple and white robes of
Different
the
cleric.
high.
Can we get a different cleric?
The High Priest of Kronos. Oh god, what was his name?
I don't know,
Ferdinand Tompion.
Something
Approaches.
stupid. Right before I paralyze, I'm gonna put myself in a position such that I fall on my arm and it shatters.
Oh.
I'm gonna raise the stakes because being turned to stone isn't really that lethal. But if I almost fall.
Your arm shatters off as you fall backwards in your weird crab pose. It does not look cool, sadly, but you didn't need it to.
Not supposed to.
Mhm.
Oh, can I
the cleric?
somewhere deep in the crowd, can I shout, "He pushed him!"
That's like.
Ooh, I like it.
Can I also say Jet wandered up to the captains are up in the top, right?
Yes.
Jet had wandered up there to like chat them up and was very pointedly watching the interaction on the floor, and then as soon as it happened, Jet just is like, "Holy shit, did Vandergilt just do that?"
Oh, I love it. I need a deception roll.
You gotta wink at her first, though.
So here's how I want this to work. I want some group rolls for this particular stunt of yours. If you're lying to throw shade on Vandergilt, give me a deception check. If you're trying to corral the clerics here, give me a persuasion check. If you are ace, have your performance thing.
Alright, use the rolls that we've already made, or
We are re-rolling these, I think, just for the sake of my own clarity. I just want to see what the whole...
I'm going
That's
to, as I
funny.
fall, I'm going to let you re-roll that. For
you motherfucker.
As I'm falling, I fear some just bad juju, and I'm just going to quickly look at you and wink.
You bastard. I was going to be so mean about that.
You were, and I stopped you, Dylan. It's me versus you in this game. There's my deception.
They silvery barbs.
In betrayed look at Vandergilt as I look like I got pushed and broke my arm. Oh no.
Ah, my arm. The cleric rushes up and says, Cleric Graham looks and says, "Oh no, that's not the Tompion. What was the fucking name?" He looks at this and says, "This is very serious. If we do not manage to fix his arm before unpetrifying him, we could lose the limb. I will start working on this. The rest of you figure out what happened. Don't let anyone leave." And you see he thaumaturgies the door closed at this, and Akashi stands up and says, "Silence!
Silence, peasants.
This is quite an eventful start to the day. Vandergilt, am I to believe that your guest there was just poisoned right under your nose?" And there is a moment where Vandergilt says, "Yes, but it wasn't me, I swear. I had no idea what was happening. I thought..." But immediately he says, "We're getting to the bottom of this. Everyone, please continue to enjoy your breakfast as we square away who was responsible for this and attend to those magical maladies."
I got a super quick rule question. When I'm petrified, and I can put the condition in it says I can't speak or take actions or, all that good stuff. Can I mentally talk? Like, am I still in there, like, aware of what's going on? Or am I...
Yes, that's what part of what makes it so horrifying.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just frozen time.
Well, I mean, that's up to the interpretation, but let me see if I can get a petrification in here. It doesn't say... It says you don't age, but it also just says you're incapacitated.
I have assumed that turning you to stone includes your brain.
Okay.
This isn't like locking up all your muscles. This is like literally turning you to a statue.
So my... Okay, cool. Yeah. Is my soul still here, though? That's just a real question. Like, am I still a creature that can be targeted by spells, or am I an object now?
Yes, but at the moment, any spell that damaged you would just kill you, and any spell that healed you would have to deal with the stone first.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm Schrodinger's object. I'm half creature, half object.
I think... Is it more horrifying for you to be slightly aware but not able to do anything about it? I think I kind of like that, actually. All right,
have you watched Dr. Stone? Have you watched Dr. Stone?
Yes. You are.
Can I be
ever so slightly conscious? You have just the faintest, like the mind link is
word
still
round.
Slightly there. Yeah, sure. The mind link is still there, but it's like you're listening to sounds across a crowded room with a bunch of people talking over each other. You are, for all intents and purposes, unconscious.
Right.
The rest of you, what do? The cleric is slowly trying to fix the stone limb that shattered. The rest of you are converging. People are shouting, pointing fingers. There's rumors going around of poison. Oh, did Vandergilt the Sonians?
I'm gonna use I'm gonna like step back and use minor illusion to make whispers and shouting in the crowd to try to whip the crowd into a frenzy. So people like listen, like hear and like imitate different people's voices, and yeah, I'm just gonna try to whip the crowd up.
You excite the crowd into a fervor as the rumors escalate until everyone is sure that someone just died at breakfast. Oh my god, this world is so exciting.
This is so exciting.
It's so exciting.
It's so exciting. Oh my god, we didn't get this much drama last year. As that happens, though, a loud snap echoes through the room as a steel beam is splintered under the magnetic, telekinetic grip of Akashi, who looks around the room and says, "Silence is required for justice to be done. Now, all those at this table and that witness this event, come forward now." and he sort of cycles to everyone. You all can go forward if you would like, along with maybe 20 other or so people at here. Baron Hassan shows up and says, someone was poisoned at my table. I think... Now, I don't know this little wizard thing, but are we sure that wasn't for me? Should I not be getting out of here? This feels like a dangerous spot for me to be. And he starts kind of like panicking, and then Akashi says, calm down, you're perfectly safe. Poison is unlikely to work if you're not drinking anything, Mr. Hassan. And you notice the lack of honorific there as Akashi dismisses him. Now, Vandergilt, what happened? And Vandergilt says, I was discussing with this adventurer with whom I have worked with in the past. We have had our disagreements, but we reconciled a truce. I am a wizard. I make bad blood on the daily. Comes with the territory. Most wizards don't like each other. That doesn't mean we can't do business, and that doesn't mean that I would kill him. As a promising young student, I would hate to see him crumble like this.
You're failing over the mind link.
No one said. No one said kill. No one said kill. He's just been petrified.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I don't exactly know how the poison works, because it wasn't me.
He literally tried to kill me last week.
You feel like drift over just to you guys.
He literally pushed you off a building once.
And that was him being nice.
I would never kill a potential student. Just the flashes to all of him just like throwing me off buildings and giving me bombs to deliver via courier mail.
Yeah, you know.
Wonderful pipe bomb I package up. If you actually know this.
Don't skip it. It is Ebola.
Anthrax. You, sorry, brain fart. He looks at this as, look, this is some kind of setup. I'm being framed. I guarantee this wasn't me. If this was for me and somehow the drinks got swished, I could understand, but I have no reason to kill this man.
Before we hear your testimony, I think it's probably best that we hear the testimony of the man you just tried to kill. Or at the very least, we should question you at the same time to better understand the situation.
He looks at this and kind of scoffs and says, very well, I've got nothing to hide. Go ahead, bring him back if he's still alive. It'd be a shame to waste all that. And he sort of like huffs and casts a little mending your way to heal your arm back up. And then kind of turns and says, there you go, I'm helping. And eventually, the time priest has fixed your arm, and you are slowly, painfully, over the course of like 30 minutes, unpetrified. It starts from your head and works its way down as it kind of craggles off, but you're like sitting there half petrified, but your head is now frozen and it's slowly going down, so you have slightly more control of your body every
bite painfully on the broken glass, which was part of the vial that was I just honestly, before I started talking, I just kept it in my mouth, you know, as I was chatting, and now that I drank, I'm gonna bite down on it. 1 point of damage. I rolled a d4. That seems appropriate for chewing glass.
Yeah, sure. What was this for? I forget why you're chewing glass again.
This glass comes from the poison bottle, and the rest of that glass from said bottle is in his room.
I like it. So the way he poisoned you was that he gave you half of a shattered glass bottle and left the other half in his... Okay, I get you.
I mean, okay. It's not what you mean. But like, it's something. It's a tiny little shard of glass that's easy to miss, or like the cap, like the top, something that would fall off the bottle.
I'm
going to spit out this small bit of glass into a hand or something. I'm just gonna try to like get it out of my mouth.
Tompion, the high sage of time, leans over and says, "Are you okay? You look to be choking. Can you breathe?"
Yeah, it's just blood. Can y'all? I think there's something in my tongue. Could y'all take it out, please? It's hard. It's bleeding.
He casts a strange little mage hand and plucks it with tweezers. This little glass splinter out of your tongue. That's odd. And he presents it to Akashi, who is now presiding over this with some frustration. Now, I don't plan to know who did what or what poisoned who, but we're going to get to the bottom of this now, and then we're going to move on with the day. I will not have the great hunt spoiled because of petty squabbles between wizards. And he glares at Vandergilt.
I'm gonna mind link to Nick. I'm gonna say, hey, can you suggest to get a cleric in here with Zone of Truth?
Oh, I have that.
Suggest that. What? He's on our channel.
Oh shit! We added a journalist to the group chat.
The panic when Akashi says it in our heads. I already know.
No, it wasn't Akashi. It was the High Priest Tompion. Cleric of Time.
Not lying.
Tompion says, yes, that seems amenable, Akashi. And then Akashi nods and is like, let's get to the bottom of it sooner rather than later. And he pulls out a scepter with a stopwatch clock at the end, and then casts a line in the ground, like a circle, and it forms the shape of a clock. And it says, for the next 10 minutes, everyone within this circle must be honest. Everyone in the circle, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. That would be all of you who are...
Oh, the three of... I think it's... Yeah, the three of you should be far fucking away. Doing crowd work.
Yep. I can fail, but my circlet prevents me from needing to tell the truth. So I can fail the save and ignore the consequence.
Yeah.
It's like failing a poison save when you're immune to poison.
Yep.
And I can do this.
Doesn't matter too much. You resist the zone of truth secretly. Doesn't seem like the cleric is any the wiser. He says, what just happened there was a dangerous poisoning. That could have slipped into the drink of anyone at this event, and yet it fell into yours. And then Akashi leans forward at you, Ace. Who do you think poisoned you, and why?
Sir, with all due respect, I don't know what your title should be, but
just call me Akashi.
Akashi, I don't know who. I don't want to throw accusations out. I've had my tough dealings with the Hassanian Empire, and I came up here as one of my main goals, although mostly as a representative of the steppe, is to, find a way to abridge some of that. I will not throw shade until, there's more investigations. I will not throw someone under the bus based off an opinion.
Make a group a persuasion check for the crowd.
Like to persuade them with my righteousness.
This is your Ace Attorney moment. Like, you need to...
Oh, fuck. Well, I got one lucky and important. Okay, I'm gonna burn through all my luckies. Okay, let's do that again, shall we? My last lucky. Woo! Persuasion.
Akashi looks at this.
I mean, I'll take the 7, because I can choose which one. I'll add 3 to make it a 10, and then I'll add Bardic plus 2. Wait, do I have a Bardic?
Let's see, I gave out 4, I have 1 more you can have.
Alright, sweet. Is this worth it? Yeah, probably. Maybe we'll see.
Ooh.
Okay, 18 total. Oh no,
Dirty
yeah,
20.
20.
Very nice.
Failure is
Were
not
they-
an option. When failure is not an option,
Failure.
Not on
divination
this
wizard
plan.
and bard.
Definitely not for this one. You are here trying to broker peace, I can understand that, but please, this is about safety. There are 3 things we need to understand about this crime: means, motive, and opportunity. As for the means, and then he gestures to the glass shard the cleric is currently holding, appears to be a vial of poison. As for the type, petrification implies basilisk, but there are a number of concoctions that provide the same thing. Marigold, if I'm remembering correctly, you have shepherded a basilisk on this mountain already. Am I wrong? And she kind of nods and speaks up for the first time in this interaction. Yes, but I swear that I did not poison this man. My little creatures are not for murder. They are celebrations of life.
May I ask, have you sold this poison in the past?
Oh, it's not for sale. I occasionally allow people to rent the animals under my care for events or hunts or various things, but no one has requested to see the basilisk in some time. However, they were in the train the other night. It's possible that someone could have broken in and stolen some, or brought some from another source.
Can I ping JT and see? Can you call bullshit on that?
I call bullshit on that?
Call bullshit on the fact that she's never sold her basilisk poison?
We don't know whether or not she has.
I mean, but do you know if the Hassanian
Oh, do I
Empire
know?
has
Can
ever
I- can I-
purchased basilisk poison from the
Can I
the Mont Blancs?
can I make a check?
Yeah,
Make a
yeah.
history
Make a. This would be a history. Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be her. We don't have to focus
16.
on the individuals. We can poison the reputation of the group.
Whoa, how the fuck did that work? Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll the d6.
You with
Alright, that's
a dirty
20.
with a dirty 20, you feel like you can speak to this confidently. Baron Hassan quickly pipes up and goes like, "There's no basilisk venom coming through Port Hassan. We're not smugglers of venoms and nefarious things like that. Wow, how ridiculous!" And then Jade,
Actually, I'm gonna step forward into the circle. As a member of the Independent Merchants Guild of Hassan, I believe I can dispute that fact. I know for a fact that with some regularity, various poisons, tinctures, and venoms are sent through to the university, supposedly for use in studies and education. But I know for a fact that Vandergilt's University has been purchasing large quantities of basilisk venom and other venoms in the past, as well as, I believe, having rented some of Marigold's creatures.
there's a moment when Vandergilt goes, "We weren't renting them for poison. They're valuable concoctions for potion craft. Poison and medicine's all about dosage. The different blend." And he starts going on and on about this like thing of what you might use basilisk venom for. And then Akashi steps in and is, "But did you or did you not purchase basilisk venom from the Monteblanc family?" And he goes, "Not directly. It was traded for. My services in exchange for..." And he looks like he's trying to find the right words to say this that don't incriminate him. He's like, "I worked with Marigold's basilisk a year ago to produce a type of concoction that is incredibly potent and useful in my spellcraft. It was not made for this. And he looks at that.
Vandergilt, would you have reason to kill me? If given the opportunity, would you kill me?
Truth be told...
If it furthered your goals. I want to slip that in right at the end.
Oh, yeah! If you stood between me and the peak of my magic, I would, no questions asked, knock you off the mountain into the valley where you could flounder with all the other failed wizards throughout history as I rise to the top. But I didn't poison you. And in fact, the longer this conversation goes on, the more convinced I am this whole plot is there to poison all of you against me. I have served this continent dutifully. I am the reason these trains run on time. And you try to smear me?
Would the people in this room have any reason not to trust you?
Get his ass!
Depends on the people.
Depends on the people. So that's a yes.
Akashi looks as well. As you bring that into it, Akashi kind of looks at this and goes, so, there are people in this room for which you would plot their downfalls or cast aside if it furthered your goals. Not a good look, Vandergilt. Doesn't directly implicate you in this crime, but just because you didn't poison him doesn't mean you couldn't have him poisoned.
Well, it's an easy solution. Where this glass shard came from?
Very well. There is no evidence at all that it points to me. Do what you have to. My innocence will speak for itself.
Nothing to hide, nothing to fear.
I'm gonna look dead. I'm gonna look Vandergilt dead in the eyes inside the aura and say, you know, taking Tensor's tower from you, I regret that. But I was hoping you could take that loss with a little bit more tact.
He looks as you dare lecture me about tact. Everyone, you all know who you're dealing with here, right? This little worthless whelp from the steppe come down to the World Summit to try and make a splash from his little town of whores and miners and nobodies. And he kind of spits that with venom and, like, turns his phone.
Back to stone. Dramatically.
He's like, well, that one's definitely attempted murder. Cutting words. Ooh.
This one's not.
But it's fine. Let's find the evidence. Locate object spell, perhaps? Or maybe you'd rather just ask every person on this mountain if they poisoned you until one of them says yes.
We have time for that? I'll get Akashi.
Akashi's like, please God, no, we are already over schedule as it is.
I like Vandergilt's idea. We look for the glass, and if it's not him, we'll drink my drink.
On an insight check, Ace, you see Azrian sweating.
Who is it? Oh,
Azrian's the one you handed the glass shards towards. You also see that Baron Hassan is sweating. Now that they've started thinking about looking for it.
I'm gonna ping a detect thoughts using the circlet.
Oh, yeah.
Why is she sweating? What's her surface thoughts in this moment?
Oh no, they're in my desk.
Oh, she knows. Why does she know?
She knows the glass shards at least. It seems like
interesting.
Azrian reported to Baron Hassan, not Vandergilt.
Oops.
I would. I would also hazard that whoever did this, like you said, may not have been working alone.
Akashi nods gravely. It's always a possibility to consider. What does the spell say? And the cleric looks at this. Down the mountain, in a hut, there are similar glass shards marked with this venom. And you all lead down the path and form a little posse towards the Hassan's abode.
I'm gonna like ride piggyback on 6 because my legs are still petrified. I'm sure Zach was here.
Witch hunt.
He would allow this to happen. But yeah.
Yeah? You confident about that one, Chad?
No, I'm less confident now. Shockingly, if you were to plot my confidence over your response, it dropped precariously after you opened your mouth.
As always, like it has been written, 6 will carry whatever the fuck your name is under his arm like a purse dog.
You all
Right.
follow the crowd up to the 3rd floor as the locate object spell hones in on the desk overlooking Mount Mordasakiro. Pulling out a series of interconnected and fractal dimensional drawers, eventually, a small container is found. When the lid is opened, several glass shards tinged with drops of basilisk venom is found. Caught red-handed, it seems, Akashi says, looking to the Baron and Vandergilt, who immediately says, "That's not ours! That was planted here!" And then Baron Hassan is sweating, still under the zone of truth, and goes, actually, that was mine. It was found by an adventurer under my purview and was up here. And so it was found by one of your adventurers. And you all knew about this? And Vandergilt says, I had heard about it. And then the room was very somber.
You were sitting at that table too, weren't you?
I could have just as easily been the one poisoned, Baron Hassan says.
But you weren't. Tell me, Baron Hassan, do you bear any ill will towards the members of Bad Karma?
No,
You name drop the party?
Well, do they? No.
They
Gift
know.
of gab. Gift
They
of
know.
gab. Didn't happen.
Wait, this is some pedantic. They know Ace. Ace is not disguised whatsoever. Ace, ostensibly, is the only member of Bad Karma here, and I made it clear
because we talked about this with the wanted posters. You don't even look like that.
well.
That's the whole reason you don't.
No, he does. The wanted posters were accurate, actually.
No, because he don't keep saying the wanted posters were accurate. So here's the thing. Vandergilt knows who I am fully, so this group knows. So it's kind of like, do we play our hand with this information now? The rest of
the main conflict here is that Ace is under a different name, but his face is still quite similar to it is the one on the wanted poster, albeit an artist rendition. Vandergilt is one of the only people on this mountain who truly knows who you all are, and you have just antagonized the hell out of him.
He doesn't know who all of us are. He has no clue who JT is.
He doesn't know who JT is. That's a good point. But he looks at this scene and says, I see how this is. And he looks at you, Ace.
Like, Jet's not here, at least in the scene. Well, you're in the scene, but they're not in this search party. Delarian isn't in this search party.
He looks at you, Ace, and says, you just really love to ruin my fucking day, don't you? And he kind of says, everybody in this building, You've all been captivated by the little fancy webs this little weaver makes. Well, I'm here to tell you that even if he's telling the truth, he's lying about it. And he sort of
look really puzzled and like work that through in his head.
How does that make any
What?
sense? What?
What?
lies by omission, lies by identity. You're not quite who you say you are. Does everyone in this room recognize this face? And he conjures up a wanted poster of Ace. That's right, the very wizard of bad karma who crashed the Aeolus Express into the next dimension a few months ago. We
And
have
who
let
is
criminals
acting
run this.
here under diplomatic immunity as a representative of the steppe, not representing himself in any capacity related to the aforementioned party. However, I might understand that you, Vandergilt, and you, Baron Hassan, have ill will towards him outside of his official role at this summit.
Vandergilt immediately says, yes, he's a little fucking prick who thinks he can stomp all over the traditions of magic in this land and somehow make an impact without destroying the legacy of those who came before him. And everyone kind of looks at Van.
Damaged your legacy?
Yes. Yes, he has.
Oh, that must have hurt to say.
He literally like spits that word.
That's and
It sounds like you've done enough damage already.
and I must say, being a wizard and knowing wizards' truest sin is their vanity, if not their greed.
Say it.
I must say,
Let this fucker
any
up.
damage to your reputation would be plenty motive enough.
The eyes in the room are locked on Vandergilt, who realizes that he has been caught in a trap. No matter what he says at this point, you have steered a conversation to a place where he can no longer back out of. You have effectively neutralized his reputation in this event. He no longer has the power to move this conversation the way he wants.
I'm gonna notice this change and then kind of stand up and shake off the last bits of dust on my petrifying legs and be like, but you know what? You're right. There isn't enough evidence to directly accuse you or Baron Hassan of any ill attempts, nor would I want to, because again, I'm not here for personal matters. I'm here as a representative of the steppe. And right now, what the people of the steppe would want me to do is move on with my task and help them out of the shitty situation we've been put in. So if you excuse me, I'd like to get back to that, and I'll forgive you of these crimes. We can end the investigation.
Everybody in this room make me a persuasion or deception check.
Discepin.
Sell this lie. Sell that lie.
Oh!
Oh, 3 roll ones. I knew it was coming. I felt it. I felt it.
Oh my god.
I'm so adding that D4.
Where do you use your bardic yet?
Lie.
That's so
And all of you can use your let's see.
I use mine.
6 and Jet can both use their bardics.
I'm going to tell you this right now. You have shot Vandergilt in the foot politically on this. He, even if you haven't proved that he poisoned you, you have proved that he would, and have also cast doubt on his dealings with Baron Hassan and the trade of the wizards of Avitrium University.
That didn't work.
There is one more thing you guys can get out of this interaction, and you have the numbers on your dice roll to prove it, but I need you all to actually do the brain work to come up with the explanation. How can you implicate Baron Hassan here? Because your goal is to squander Baron Hassan as a potential suitor for Tesu.
Jet is
How do
going
you
to-
further implicate?
We can
What's Jet do?
Jet is because he's still. We're still in the same room, right?
You have moved to the lodging where the poison vials were, but eventually people come back to the breakfast nook.
Okay, yeah. Jet is still hanging around with the captains and is just gonna kind of in conversation be like, "Hey, Baron Hassan was looking a bit shifty before the poisoning happened. Like, I don't know if anyone noticed, but he was sweating before that guy even hit the ground. Like,
Cheng Sao leans into you and says, "You know what I heard? I heard that he was almost assassinated on his way from leaving Port Hassan and hired an extra dozen bodyguards because of it.
Really?
Maybe he had an inkling of who might have wanted him dead and tried to before it became a problem. That or he's just a massive coward. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Sometimes it's both.
Sometimes it is both.
Sometimes
Cowardly people can be quite vicious.
I find that, yeah. Especially, listen.
What was that?
Just
Who would want to kill Baron Hassan?
Who would want to kill Baron Hassan? A good question.
Can I make a check on that? Insider history?
This is an insight check, DC 30, for who would want to kill Baron Hassan.
Who would want to kill Baron Hassan?
Can I help at all by trying to get a little more information?
Got it.
Although
I will say,
Take advantage.
Wait, can I use my reputation in this?
no.
On this roll? Fuck!
Sadly, no.
Advantage? Alright.
I will allow Jet to also make a roll if you want to.
Damn it.
Insight.
What am I rolling for?
This is insight. You're trying. The only thing you could really get was a natural 20, but because you brought up the question, it's possible.
Okay. Yeah, I have a -1 to insight, so it's going to be impossible. Yeah.
9. You're like, why the fuck would someone want to poison a governor? It just seems like a waste.
Because he sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Jet's like, well, obviously someone wants to kill him. He's a politician. That doesn't narrow it down at all.
JT
Anyway.
with a
JT's gonna-
29. Yeah.
Oh, I got one other thing I can try.
Can I?
I will
Listen
give
to
you some
Dylan's
information on that
information
insight check.
I could message
Yeah.
Vita and say, "Do you know who?"
And
She's
Vita
in the
messages
room
back, yeah.
somewhere.
Vita messages back, yeah, Ace poisoned himself. I saw the whole thing. I'm not gonna say that though.
Bitch.
It's not my fault for being more perceptive than everyone else at this goddamn party. No one's paying attention to anything.
Alright, sir. What did I say I get with a 29?
So I will allow you to ask a more focused question with a 29 because you're almost there, but you just don't get that last little poo. So I will allow you to ask another type of question. So why would someone want to kill Baron Hassan? Who he thinks is responsible, or what?
Before we do that, remember right before there was a meeting between Akashi and I believe Baron Hassan and Vandergilt in a room, and Baron Hassan looked distraught and Vandergilt looked excited? Right, Dylan? That's what I saw with my scrying.
Yes,
right?
yes. Vandergilt looked surprised but excited.
And then how did the
Baron Hassan looked terrified. He looked scared at whatever information he received. He was not happy about it, and has seemingly only gotten more paranoid since.
Who are the other suitors for Tesu?
It's just
So there actually are a couple. There is Akashi, Baron Hassan, Marigold Monteblanc, and Cheng Sao, the pilot captain. That one you only know because Cheng Sao talked about it.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, me and Tesu got along really well during the trip. At one point, Forsythia asked if we'd be interested in courting her, but honestly, seems like a lot.
She's a little.
She's got.
I like Taisu. Don't get me wrong. Taisu's lovely to hang out with, but frankly, I wouldn't want to be on an airship with her for very long. She kind of smells like formaldehyde.
The soft sound of a blade sinking back into metal.
So the main two you have to worry about are Marigold and Akashi, but you know that Cheng Sao also has Taisu's ear and captains the fleet that she is staying on, so you might have an in there.
Let's try the Monte Blanc. Obviously, would be the most convenient, but we really have no saying on that other than.
I mean, Akashi is the biggest person.
Why would Akashi inform Baron Hassan and Vandergilt of news that scared and made them excited? Right?
And I'm just saying that would be the biggest chess piece to knock off the table if we can, but...
That would be, but I'd also be terrified of leveling an accusation against him like that right here.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "You're the murderer."
It's literally like you're in the Ace Attorney case, and the prosecutor is the murderer. You're like, it's you the whole time.
Yeah.
And a lot. It happens so often in that game.
Well, it's going to be like "Oh, you murdered it." He's going to look at us and he's going to be like, "And?" And we'll be like, "All right, well, great point.
Yeah.
That was great. Good
My
counter."
mountain, bitch. My mountain.
So, what? We can still ask one more pointed question. Can we ask?
Yeah.
What you
why
can ask
Hassan,
a pointed question on Baron Hassan, yeah.
Why should I ask why he thinks he's in danger, or what motive
trying to
he
get
thinks
killed.
someone would have?
He was going to get poisoned.
Yeah, but like I'm trying. We have to be. We know he thinks he's going to be
wasn't
poisoned, but like
drinking.
why he thinks someone would have it out for him? What he thinks someone's motive would be, something along those lines.
Yeah. You think about the state of Port Hassan. When you first arrived, it was a bustling port city that got absolutely rocked by a Feywild incursion. There is now a forest in the middle of it that is subject to all the dimensional strangeness and magical potential of the Feywild. Now that you know that, what does that give whoever is in charge of Port Hassan?
It gives them
What?
access to immense magic. Is he
Or
afraid of
creatures.
Vandergilt? Does
No.
he think Vandergilt's gonna try to kill him?
You're honing in on it. He is politically the most powerful person on the northern side of the continent, and physically and magically one of the weakest. Port Hassan is a hub of arcane advancement and wizardry, and the governor is neither of those. He has inherited a natural disaster, famine, a incursion of monsters, and the benefits of magical power, the likes of which have never been seen in his city. And the only person who can control it or help him access and channel it is Vandergilt. He is more afraid of Vandergilt going down right now than of being implicated himself. Because he knows that if he doesn't get Taisu's hand, oh well. Like, the Hassanians and the Relacians have been at war for centuries. Like, that was already a pretty strained relationship. He knew he wasn't the top candidate from the start. But if Baron Hassan loses Vandergilt as an ally, all of a sudden, Port Hassan is a wasteland. The monsters will run rampant. The wizards will be overrun. Like, love him or hate him, Vandergilt is a balancing presence for that city. And Baron Hassan is sort of realizing how fragile his position is. If he were to, say, get poisoned at an event. He doesn't necessarily fear Vandergilt will poison him specifically, but he does fear that someone else will, and that Vandergilt will let it happen to assume power. But with that,
we want to work with the railroad. We don't know enough. I don't think we know, because we don't know if the monoblocks are in it for the money. Could be the railroad company's in it to eliminate.
You know that all of these factions are working together somehow. They've got like a complicated trade and business relationship with each other. You know that the artificers and wizards from Port Hassan made the train engines that are currently running this continent. You know that the railroad company has just recently expanded into Relacia for the military support. You don't know what the Monteblocks bring to the table yet. And something about those strange cages and twisted monstrosities that you saw in that train car makes you think that whatever it is more dangerous than you could possibly imagine. And with that, successfully ruining the reputation of an adversary, interrupting breakfast with a scandal, and successfully...
I want to take down Hassan. I just don't know.
We did. We just
You
don't
basically
know.
did. You took Hassan down off as a suitor for Tesu. This whole event has essentially lowered, for a mechanical thing, it has lowered Baron Hassan's and Vandergilt's reputations by 2 for being caught up in a poisoning scandal. And as I said before, in order to court Tesu, got to be 18 or higher. I think also at this particular event,
I would hope so.
JT
She's
and
an
Ace, your reputations both go up by 1 for Ace and JT.
Okay. Like 1 point or just one like
1 point of stat.
Okay, I see.
So, like,
1 stat point? Sorry.
So like if it was an 11, now it's a 12.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I'm 13 now. Cool.
And
I'm 15.
with that, I think we are probably going to wrap tonight's session. I know
Sick.
that was a lot of talking. There are a couple ways this session could have gone, depending on the choices you guys made, but I really like how it went. You guys have stirred the pot quite a lot.
That went well. Because
You've
essentially...
also, to be clear, you have also made 2 enemies for life.
Yeah, but
Baron
they're
Hassan.
currently 2 impotent enemies, and we live on those short-term gains, baby.
You know, so here's the thing: they can no longer aim for like the allyship with Relacia. That doesn't mean they have no power at this event.
No, yeah.
In the final moments too, they outed you as bad karma, and then under the zone of truth, I think the final thing the scene will leave it on is Vandergilt pulling up Ace's wanted poster. That's right, the very wizard from Bad Karma that destroyed the Aeolus Express, caused 11-9, and crippled railroad infrastructure.
He's the architect of 11-9!
Two things to say against that. One, why am I the architect of 11-9? That seems racial. 2, I know we're trying to end it here, but motherfucker built the engine.
Yeah.
Can I not
You
say
also-
anything about that? Can I not say, oh, that engine that, like, glitched out and never returned was the one who built the engine?
Yeah,
It
you
seems
can
like a-
say that. I'm gonna say this is contested persuasion for crowd work.
Oh, no.
Can I say it instead?
So it doesn't matter because Vandergilt rolled a natural 1. So go ahead and roll just for funsies, just to see.
I'm actually going to use my last lucky... No, fuck him.
Fuck every ball.
Can I help? By being
Yeah, you can help.
and, like, doing the shit.
What do you whisper in the crowd to, like, cast suspicion?
Didn't he like make that fucking train though? Like 11-9? That was faulty handiwork, wasn't it?
No, I thought it was domestic terrorism, man. It was the naturalists who were trying to end the railroad and
It was
civilization.
an inside job.
I'm telling you, man. It was the buffalo.
Like that.
Energy stones can't melt barrier dimensions.
You know those plant people that live out in the grass and, like, will ambush you and stuff? I bet one of those did it. That's right. Bush did 9/11. And with that, we're ending tonight's session.
That was
Oh god, I can't believe Shrub did 11-9.
Shrub did 11-9. The Shrub man from the start. He's been the BBEG this whole time.
I hope so. I lit his ass up the first encounter. I didn't even ask questions. I burned him first, asked questions later.
Yup. Bring us a shrubbery!
That went good because
Yeah.
in my head,
pretty well.
in my head,
I like your
even if
butterfly
people
knife
give them the
image.
best respect possible, they poorly handle the situation. Like, they perform the poisoning badly.
Yeah.
None of these people really care if you do crimes. It's only how you look doing said crimes.
Yeah, it's just like real politics.
Yeah, so like
He was not Fergalicious enough, you know.
Fergalicious definition.
guilty or not, he is in a scandal, and that's not a good ship to tie yourself to. So we did that.
Yeah. But yeah.
But now he might be our enemy.
Might.
Oh,
He is
well,
our enemy.
he was already our enemy, guys. He promised to kill us all next time he saw us. Like
He did. But,
Well, I mean, yeah.
so he did out you as those people. So
Just-
now you are just you. And you are under diplomatic immunity. But now the
For now.
essentially, basically, if this were a stealth game, the threat level just increased a notch. Because
Cool.
having mentioned the name Bad Karma and the sort of plot with the railroad, you have gathered the attention of the crowd and especially the Iron Dragons. Akashi, when this happens, looks at Ace with a gaze that pierces right through your skull. And you know for a fact that whatever happens, this play means that you're going to be watched much closer than before.
Does
And
that
with that-
increase or decrease my reputation, actually? Because I'm fine having a low reputation out of that.
Would you like it to decrease after
I
this?
don't know what makes sense. I guess I
So-
want that more than not. I guess I
If you're
wouldn't-
trying to gain power as an ambassador, increasing will probably be more helpful. If you are trying to fly under the radar and prevent drawing extra suspicion, so mechanically advantage in stealth check versus persuasion check.
Okay, I definitely
going up.
don't think I'm flying under the radar, so I don't think my score went down. I don't think it went down.
No,
It definitely went
who
up.
You are, you know.
No, I'm
Yeah.
more.
You guys uncovered some secrets. You found some twisted monstrosities, some horrible mishmash of a chameleon, a venomous serpent, and a scorpion.
Hey,
And you found the jackalope and the
Gave him-
dragonborn.
and gave him a vial of basilisk poison for him to
Do with as he please.
to start a prison break. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Dylan, with this for the party, real quick. Remember, Sable sabotaged that engine.
Sable was trying to get to the train on that ride,
Right, but you never
but
made
you
it.
guys killed her simulacrum before she made it on. You know that Johnny
Johnny No Face was on there.
Johnny No Face was on there. Make a quick insight check. 2 people. Ace and some other person, no advantage.
Okay.
Yay.
Should I take dibs?
I think, yeah, you were imitated by him. You did end up dealing with
Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh shit. Okay, well.
That's a 4.
Oh well, I'll take an 18 with Bless, of course, because Bless is the.
You
best
haven't
ever
really
made.
questioned this before because it kind of happened asynchronously and you never actually encountered both of these people together. But you know the number of people that were trying to do something on that train, there were at least 2 groups trying to sabotage it. It was JT's and Sable's. What you haven't considered, Johnny No Face and Sable's.
Oh,
Yeah.
What you haven't considered before is what if they weren't separate groups at all? There's this brief moment where you think of like, what if they were in league? You were under the assumption that Johnny No Face was working with Tensor, and to an extent that was corroborated. But you never asked Tensor about him, and you never heard him mention it.
We've gotten
you
the mission
also-
gang.
You know that there was more behind that operation than you saw because things went wrong. Now you're realizing, did they go wrong because they didn't actually have the wizard there when they were trying to do that heist? Because you guys knocked Sable off before she could get on the train.
That would destroy a lot of the the accusations leveled against our adventuring party. If we can find who's guilty for that,
If you can find Johnny No Face or Sable,
or talk to Tensor.
or
He's
talk to
also
Tensor.
here.
That's the other thing. You realize the implications of that might mean that Johnny No Face has double-crossed Tensor somehow. Or the plan was different than he told you originally and was able to lie about it. Which he is a changeling, it's possible.
Cool.
We will get into those questions and whether there is a suspicious shapeshifter lurking amidst the crowd of this event.
Is there any kind of ex-boyfriend check?
Make an ex-boyfriend check, yeah. This would be... You can actually roll any stat you think would be Jet's ex-boyfriend stat.
Yeah.
Okay. Survival.
Survival. That's accurate.
I do have a -1 in survival, but it is quite funny.
You know what? That fits.
It's gotta be.
Ooh.
Wow, this is so...
No, this is actually really funny. You are looking around. You don't see anyone who reminds you of Johnny No Face. No big cowboy hats. But what you do see, as you are returning to the breakfast nook. Are you still with Cheng Sao right now, by the way?
Yeah.
You look around frantically, and you catch, first off, I can't remember his fucking name. Who is the elf boy? What was his name?
Oh, the elf
Emerald?
boy! Shit! It was written. It's in our. It's somewhere in.
It's in our notes. You catch
I can try and find it.
High Elven ambassador from Granacia that you once shared a fling with, who is kind of moping by the drinks, getting day drunk on mimosas, with a sort of bodyguards of 2 high Elvens in armor who just look exasperated. You look around a little further. Down the mountain, you see on top of their lodging the palanquin of the Monteblanc family, in which a slightly pink-haired, gray-scaled half-orc steps out into the morning sun and blinks blearily for the first time on this trip, as Mav also emerges on the stage. And further up in the sky, a beautiful-looking ship with gossamer sails gliding on a stream of aurora with the rest of the Olvidados. Comes Aurora, finally making her appearance. Jet, you have a realization on your 2 boyfriend check. Too many X's in one room. Too many flings. You have Cheng Sao notices you breaking out into a cold sweat and goes, "You are right. You look a bit overcast."
And it's at this moment that Jet thinks, at this point, one more can't hurt.
If Jet's already in for a penny, you might as well get a pound out of it.
You might as well get a literal pound.
In for a pounding. And now that's where we're ending tonight's session. For real this time.
For real.
As Jet has the horrible realization.
Jet just looking around and it's like, I need to have an intervention with myself. Anyway.
I need a therapist.
Literal nightmare.
We can't keep doing this.
Gang, when this is over,
Can't keep getting,
you know?
can't keep getting away with this. But yeah. Hope you guys had fun. Session 73. That's a wrap, baby.
I had a lot of fun playing.
Yeah.
This was fun.
That was fun.
That was
I
fun.
love your guys' plots and machinations. That was so good.
Okay, now though,
next
I'm
time,
no longer allowed to be in plots because we can't have any more enemies.
you got a lot of heat. You got a lot of heat on you right now, Ace. Your GTA ranking is 4 stars. It's like it could get higher, but like you're already pretty hot water.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But yeah. Next time we will explore the sort of aftermath of that and get into the monster hunt, the main event for day 2.
Even looking
And we'll also discuss the beginnings of the big political decisions that will be made at this summit as the debates begin in the evening. Ba 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 ba. I watched Conclave recently after the Pope death news happened.
Mhm.
And I've been thinking a lot about like just a bunch of people arguing in a room about politics.
That's valid. I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, you guys are slowly unraveling the onion-like layers of a conspiracy that you are nearly at the heart of, and I'm so excited.
Oh, good. Right.
Everything
So
is fine. You're so close to everything being different.
it annoys
Totally
me.
fine.
I don't like that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
Uh-oh. We just got to do the small things, though. We take out our political enemies. We rescue Taysu. That's it. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's all we're here for, and that's
Everything
what's
else
gonna
is
happen,
great.
you know?
Dream small.
There will be no gods, no dream monsters.
Nothing
We're just
of
here to rescue Taysu.
No more X's.
Okay, maybe one more X. Let's be
Maybe
realistic
one,
here.
maybe one more X.
How many are we okay with?
At once?
Sure.
But yeah.
I think the survivor will answer that, and the number is 2.
Oh, exactly what was rolled.
Nice. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this arc. I'm really excited for next session. It's going to be great.
Speaking of
I'm excited.
session, I'm
Yes.
out of town Monday. I get back in Tuesday. I do not know if I'll be able to make a Tuesday session because I'll be tired and I have to go to a fucking work meeting the same day.
Blech.
I don't know if it would be easier for me to do a Monday session from the hotel or to try and make one Tuesday.
Both of those sound dreadful. Not gonna
Could we
lie.
do? Hey, can I pitch a Thursday? Can I pitch a Thursday session?
I can do
would.
Thursday
I think
technically.
it's okay.
No. No.
I can't really do Thursday.
Everyone give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm just gonna start listing off days of the week.
I feel like that's going to be very unproductive.
I'm already
Probably.
sitting here with my thumb up, so.
Do we want to just do Tuesday and have?
I can give. Let me check with the people I'm staying with really quick and see if they care if I do D&D in a hotel room, but I don't know if one of those is. I assume either way Tuesday would have to be 7 anyways because I have a work meeting, which is
Right.
a thing that keeps happening, or it'd just be at 7 o'clock on Monday.
Wednesday? Question mark.
Either of those. Wednesday it's
I
at
can do
7 o'clock
Wednesday.
again because I still work.
Is that if it's gonna be a 7? If it's gonna be a 7 p.m. for you anyway, though, Zach, would Wednesday be better because they give you an extra day to rest after your trip?
Flash, were you shaking your head?
Yeah, I can't do Wednesday.
Okay, got it.
The semester is over, but Wednesdays are like the day I go volunteer, and I really want to start doing that again now that the semester is over. So
Super valid, super valid. Let's see. I have 2 other options.
I mean, it's Monday, which is Memorial Day, I think. Is that?
Yeah, it
it's
is.
this one,
Oh, yeah.
which is nefarious. Zach will be at a hotel, and I might.
Say
be like a
something if
barbecue
you're
or
gonna
something?
be out of town now. Don't beat around the bush, please. I don't have the energy.
Well, I don't know for sure. I'm gonna find out as soon as I can, but
I
I might
texted
have
the people
plans.
and they said that they don't care if I do it from the hotel.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'm
Monday
gonna
then?
check my plans and double check
Monday would also work better for me because I just realized Tuesday is my birthday, so I will likely be doing something in
fuck,
person.
Crash!
Yeah,
Happy birthday!
thank
Happy
you.
That's
birthday,
crazy.
Priam.
Happy birthday.
I've been too busy with
Happy
semester and
birthday.
art show stuff, and I kind of forgot that was.
You have a birthday?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
forgot
have a
that you were
birthday
born.
party, which obviously the in-persons are invited to, but
Ooh,
probably not.
Bruh, I'm
in-
not even
no.
invited?
You're not even
Fuck.
That's
invited.
discrimination.
Dylan,
Damn.
even if you were to come here, you still can't come.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Guys, I really wanna
I thought you were making a circumcision joke.
No.
doing much better
Only
these
you
days.
thought about that.
I'm sorry. You said even if you were here, you still wouldn't be allowed
Oh
to
my
come.
God.
I was like,
I was in my creative
that's crazy.
I was in my goddamn creative writing class the other day, and people started like going off on this weird tangent about circumcision, and I just had to sit there the whole time, like silently, and like I don't
No, you
want this
didn't.
fucking. I don't want this English class to know about my junk. Straight up, I don't want to bring it up. I have all the
Oh, okay,
thoughts in there, but
we're allowed though. See, I
yes,
didn't
you
want to
get it.
know.
Not just allowed, it's mandatory.
Yeah, no, you
forgot
guys actually have to
so-
listen. You're a captive
I forgot
audience.
so quickly about it. Like I was so blissfully blocked that out that I was confused when Andre said what Andre said. I was startled. I was like, "What do you mean?"
You should know better.
Okay.
Always gotta be
Focusing
on your
back
toes.
in.
Anyway, I'll
beyond
check. Okay, I'll
circumcision.
check Monday.
Monday next week. Yep.
I'll check. Yeah, I'll check.
Monday
And if
next
not,
week
I'll
until
just
further notice.
can't make it.
Someone
Yep.
put it in
Yeah.
chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pleasure playing with y'all as usual.
I'm going to
Always.
Session 73.
Good
Okay.
night,
Wow.
guys. Good session.
Good night.
Good session. Good
Bye.
night.